episode 21 of A Cast of Players, the Chronicles of Valtor. So thank you once again for joining us. If you need to catch up on anything, we will of course be doing the preview and the recap, but if you've not already signed up to On Demand, please do so. Catch up with the story before you proceed any further.
Halt!
But
You shall not pass!
Until you've watched all 20 episodes previously. But speaking of recap, let's dive straight in and find out where our erstwhile adventurers are. So previously on A Cast of Players, our group had found themselves deep within the forest of the Forlorn Grove, hunting the sap of the bone root tree, one of the necessary ingredients for the cure for maiden sorrow that had afflicted their friend Joanna in their travels. Sliced by a Talari Inquisitor, the poison coursing through her veins now, whilst you and her protector Eric search for various ingredients. Now, having already found the dragon scales, you followed the trail to the bone root, and in doing so, you revealed some dark magics. An elven woman that had accompanied you turned out to be one of the original cultists of the people that had brought the bone root to this place, feeding it upon the ley lines of magic that had given this area life and beauty, as well as blood from sacrifices. One final sacrifice was given, this elven woman, or Nelly, giving herself to the tree in a way that she perhaps had not fully intended, dying in the process and awakening the demon within. The vast creature fought furiously and with great strength against our party and their newfound ally, Reva, a dwarven warrior who had joined the scholars and betrayed by Onelli a few weeks ago on their entrance here to the Forlorn Grove. Amrakai quickly discovered that the creature was averse to fire, launching bolt after bolt of flaming magic at the creature, breaking open its bark armor, revealing the fleshy withins. In its anger and rage, it used some of the vines and its own innate abilities to try and grasp and draw him closer. And yet, with ease, the vines were sliced open and the creature soon brought to his knees. Griffin, finding opportune moments to stab and slice through perhaps the weaker points of the creature's legs and limbs, Erevan cursing it, launching blast after blast of magical energy and impaling it upon the silvered edge of his sword auger. Amrakai continued to launch forward bolts of flame and slicings of sword, and even Reva was involved until he was knocked unconscious by the creature's mighty blows, the treant rising and yet eventually falling to the tip of Kaitega Niho, the spear of Luko. It's me. As he fell, he was greeted by thoughts and visions of his ancestors, his elders, and the beaches of his home, the tropical isles of Heret, bringing him to a heroic fortitude, rising to his feet and felling the final blow. As the creature fell and their task completed, the sap already in a vial, they returned to Erinshire, the city, or rather the small township where they had stopped off previously. Not before, however, moving to the clearing where they had seen what appeared to be the last surviving jade beech, a mystical tree filled with many magical properties. The skeletal figures that had once guarded the area blazed with life, or rather unlife, no longer. The balefire eyes that flashed with blue, now empty sockets. But upon them, upon their lead, was found perhaps some evidence of their identity. The crest of the Randalls, the leaders of the village of Erinshire, and a small pouch of seeds. The group surmised that as they were guarding this sapling of a jade beech in this clearing, that perhaps these seeds would be the last remnants of these magical trees. Venturing back to Erinshire, the roots and the bark and the leaves of the trees and the surrounding vegetation seemed to be almost recovering quickly although it would still be some time before the last vestiges of the corruption of the bone root would finally disappear. But it took them less time than before, the village within their grasp, much less time than anticipated now that the forest had seemingly been relieved of its curse. They were greeted by Johann Randall, the elder of the village, surprised at their return, but grateful. One, for the returning of his father's crest, the tree symbol upon the belt that they had retrieved from the lead of the skeletal warriors, now bequeathed on to Amrakai, Johann saying that he would have little need of it. But secondly, for the seeds, the jade beech seeds that could be used to regrow and restore Erinshire to its former glory. The party rested, and on the morning, a fond farewell was bidden to Waipara, the companion of Luco, who he had determined had been put in danger for the last time, and could now perhaps find home and peace amongst the now recovering trees of what was once known as the Forlorn Grove, although how long it will be before it becomes the Jade Grove once again, the group has no time to determine, for quickly they hit the road again, eager to return to Greyhold, and then on to the next ingredient that is necessary for the cure that they seek. On the way, they stopped at the junction, the watering station, along the main trade road, and, by some serendipitous luck, seemed to make contact with a member of the Benary Union, a man who called himself Elaine Cyrus Goldomere, a fellow of the Walden Artificers Guild. He knew of Griffin, and he advised that there were some rumours of an excavation coming soon, although this would not be determined until the next convention of the Assembly, the ruling party of the city-states of the Benary. But he could provide a service that they needed, namely slightly quicker passage back to Greyhold. Only 10 miles away, yet surely quicker by horseback and caravan ride than by foot. Elaine was eager to help, in return, of course, for perhaps some patronage from Griffin. The details, of course, are to be hashed out, as all businesses are. But for now, that is where we return. We're ready to board the wagons and caravans, ostentatious in all of their over-the-top extravagant glory, and Elaine waiting for you. He raises his pipe as he pockets it. He's already told his men all aboard and to get this train going. It's probably about 1 p.m. at this point. You're outside the junction, the milling of caravans bustling around, some of the horses being hitched and ridden, being attached to caravans, others just being ridden by riders and saddles by themselves. As you look to the east, you can see the walls of Greyhold some 10 miles away, illuminated by the midday sun. Well, come on then! Elaine calls out to you. Mm-hmm. Or Alain. Alain, not Elaine. She's a dragon.
Oh no.
Surprise!
Yeah, and Mackay boards.
As does Griffin.
Yeah,
Luco boards. Is there a place he can sit that he can kind of keep watch?
There's like you know, on sort of old school like Orient Express style trains where they have like a small railing like out the back.
Yeah,
it's kind of like that.
Yeah,
there's
cool.
a small bit where you could sort of quite easily, you know, lean out and see sort of behind you.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Sure.
Cool.
Inside, it's quite comfy. It's like goose feather down pillows strewn around the floor. There's a large hookah in the middle.
What's a hookah?
It's like
shisha.
the pipes.
Ah,
yeah.
Like those sorts of large water pipes for smoking tobacco, like flavoured.
So when Griffin spies this, he just goes, he takes a pew on one of the feather down pillows and begins to start,
Yeah.
firing it up.
Alain comes and joins you and sort of watches you with like a smile on his face. It's like, yes, it's been probably some time since you've seen one of these.
Far too long, my friend.
Yes.
Far too long indeed. Forgive me, I jumped straight in there. I'm assuming you intend to fire this baby up?
Yes.
Very
Absolutely. But by all means, you take the first puff, my man.
You are now being far too kind, sir. Far too kind indeed.
He bangs on this wooden door behind him.
Avakai's just like looking, grimacing really at this scene. Have you any wine?
Do I have any?
Of course I have wine, old boy. Cabinet over there. Come on, let's get the show on the road. And you hear this trudge and you hear like a whip crap and a yeah, and the caravan begins to move these wagons.
May I just say, if we ever make a movie of this, I want Matt Berry to play this character.
Oh, I love
Tally ho!
But yes, the wagons proceed down the trade road towards Greyhold.
Very good.
Amakai takes a seat pretty much in the corner of the carriage with his back to the wall and observes what's going on.
Everyone's going to sit down around the... What's it called again?
It's
Sure.
a hookah.
A hookah. Is going to go sit down in front of it and just sort of examine it whilst being distracted by Griffin and Elaine just talking like they
seeing
talk.
that, it's not witchcraft, Van. It's simply flavoured tobacco. Tastes quite nice. Better than what's in your pipe, I suppose. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So it's like attached to it's almost like you've got like the bubbling down here, and you've got generally like a piece of tobacco that sits on top of it.
Yeah.
So when you suck through, all the smoke comes through out there and then out through a pipe, which is generally attached.
You know
by
Alice in
hose.
Wonderland?
Yes.
You know the caterpillar?
Yes.
That's that hookah.
Ah.
That's the hookah.
Yeah.
So it's like this long pipe that you sort of... And it like the water bubbles and you get all this like aroma and like flavour of like this tobacco. But the sort of the top of it like is it all ignited. It's like charcoal bits like that.
Forgive me, I don't want to tell you what you like, but I have a feeling, Van, you will enjoy this.
Very good. I would give it a try. Takes a big drag. Sort of sees all the bubbling and stuff and... Well, yes. Tally ho.
He sort of like takes the pipe. Tally ho. I like your friends.
Yes, I've grown quite fond of them as well.
So tell me, what is it that brings you so far away from the land of Excellion?
Well, you know, one must see the world.
But of course. But you don't seem to have a trade. I, for one, as I say, am part of the Artificers Guild, looking to ply my wares and maybe drum up some business before the convention. And yet, the Harrian out on the veranda there seems to be quite lost. Him in the corner just seems to be wanting some alcohol. This boy here, however, is getting right involved. And you, of course, well, we've all heard about Griffin Le Pine de la Rose.
Well, we are met on interesting terms. We've not known each other long. We're all travelling for our own reasons, but we've come to the same accord. And now, I believe, we are strong friends.
Ah, yes. The road is always good for building camaraderie. Bonds of friendship. Very good. If you excuse me, I'm just going to let all of this waft in and around me. But feel free to burn the ends if you so will. I suspect we'll arrive to Greyhold within the hour.
Thank you.
Wares do you sell exactly? You say you're an artificer. An artificer of what?
Ah, gizmos, gadgets, mechanics. Learnt my trade from the gnomes, would you believe?
And you make these things yourself?
Myself and the guild. The Artificers Guild is quite large and extensive. I am but a fellow, of course. One of the minor ranks. if you will.
Ah, right, yes. You wouldn't want to get your hands dirty.
That's not a case of getting the hands dirty. Many an oil smear has touched these glorious hands, I'll have you know. It's more along the lines of I've not been there for very long.
Amakai sort of steps up and his
He looks,
considerable height
he looks you up and down and
towers
just goes,
over him.
imagine me...
Amakai holds out his hand to, like, get yours.
Okay. He looks it up and down. I'll put it in some words that perhaps you understand. I am a private in the military, shall we say. The lowest rank, but always looking to go up. And he then takes your hand.
Amakai turns his hands to look at his hands. Like, does he have, like, calluses or scars?
Scars, yeah, callus.
He does?
Yeah.
Amakai goes,
He is on.
Throws his own hand.
throws it back his hand.
That's yours.
He looks up at you with a smile and
But also
goes, expecting nothing but soft skin.
I wasn't sure. I just judge a person by what it's clear that they do rather than what they say. Based on your hands, what is it you have to sell here? And Amakai starts looking around.
You see like lots of sort of strange contraptions, gizmos. They seem like knickknacks.
Yeah.
And he sort of explains that a lot of this stuff is just very, very basic things, but as a whole, the Artificers Guild, and you would be aware of this, does some pretty big mechanical, not necessarily wonders, but think like retractable drawbridges, sort of mining equipment, things like this. It's not necessarily all like... A lot of it is functional. There are a few things like, so for example, the Artificers Guild would have created, as a gift to one of the leading families of Walden, which is where they're based, a vast mechanical chandelier which has all of the time stamps and calendar dates on it. Very Game of Thrones style.
Nice.
In the in Old Town.
Yeah.
It's like the sun. It's kind of like that. So it serves no purpose other than just being a really extravagant calendar. But it would have been a gift.
Amakai doesn't know what they... Because
Sure. Yeah.
in Talar we do things somewhat differently.
Yes.
So...
But he explains that it depending on their station within the guild, it can be anywhere from children's toys to mechanical equipment to make the populace's lives easier, and the really, really high ends, they're artists.
Right.
They aren't...
and he's saying this to Amakai.
Yeah.
Amakai's finally, you can see his interest really starts to peak.
Mhm.
And then he says, what of the tide? You don't use any of the tide's workings in these things? And he pokes one of the cogs or one of the contraptions on his shelf.
The small ones, maybe not. Like I say, gnomish engineering, the finest in the land. Some of the larger ones, there may very well be a bit of magic within it. I believe they're two sides of the same coin. The tide gives us all these magical wonders and all these abilities and all this fantastical hokum and pocus, and yet we can bind it into a machine and use it. The two working in twine.
Here. So Griffin's kind of been sinking more and more into the cushion.
This cushion just rubbing his belly.
Yes.
Well, when it's good.
You're
So-
smoking the hookah at this point still?
Indeed.
You're...
Yeah, and great. So Griffin says, and so you're here on business or travelling yourself?
Our business, yes. The members of the guild that are travelling with me. As I say, we're looking to go and ply our wares in the markets of Greyhold, and then just for a day or so, and then move onwards elsewhere. Maybe even get a boat from Kinburn over to the Republic itself. See if we can persuade the gnomes to buy their own stuff. You understand?
Very good. Don't suppose you know Cobb?
Kornov?
Cobb? No. He's one of the little people, you see. Servant of my household. You seem to deal with them. I thought perhaps you may have...
No. I personally have never dealt with the House of Hainault, so I'm assuming that there are servants everywhere. It's the one thing that does bug me about Excellion is your use of the slave still, but that is the beauty of the Union. We are all our own individual peoples.
Do you use slaves? That guy says.
I wouldn't call Cobb a slave.
Do you
More like a pet.
And this he sort of...
And Mackay seems also surprised.
Griffin just kind of goes over his head.
I wouldn't trouble yourself too much with it, old boy. It's been that way for years. Not necessarily him, I've only just met him, but the people, the families, Excellion, very set in their ways. As most of the Union is, admittedly. I mean, Walden is so archaic. The families, my God. Sometimes you just want to wrangle their necks and choke the life out of them. I mean, you can't, of course. That would be highly illegal.
Yes,
and then we wouldn't get paid.
Hung, drawn, and quartered you'd be.
And the rest, but let's not talk about the rest.
No,
It's
we
a terrible
shouldn't.
thing. Terrible.
Erevan sort of takes another exhale and sort of looks at Amakai like...
And Mackay observes this hookah and looks
Go
at the rest
on.
of them.
It won't bite.
It is not for me. The wine, however, is excellent.
To each their own. A man of taste, I see, and yet not a man of adventure, it seems.
I've seen enough adventure. You enjoy your whatever it is.
Yes. I will. Luco, out the back. Anything you're doing in particular?
No, he's
Hanging out with Wiper. Oh.
Too soon. Too soon. Too soon. That cuts deep.
well, I imagine this is all in earshot, so he's probably hearing most.
Yeah,
of all
the
this.
door is sort of open. Yeah.
But he spent most of this time like quietly watching the rear, taking the rear guard, essentially. Yeah, I think that's it actually.
Maybe an hour and a half passes, and then eventually the movement, this gentle sort of comes to a halt, and you hear the murmuring of voices outside. You can hear it far more clearly. You can hear guardsmen asking for papers,
Right.
to see entry into the city. There's some scrutiny. You sort of do notice that there's a bit of a pause, a bit more hesitation, but eventually you do hear like, "Go on through," and the wagon sort of picks up again. Another 5 minutes pass, and it again sort of comes to a halt. Elaine stands up. "I do believe that is our destination arrived at, gentlemen."
Very good. So, in this last half hour, once Griffin would have scribbled out some a royal form of patronage for himself.
Cool.
So he'd have something. I'm assuming he'd use his ring for his
Yeah, I
house
imagine your
seal?
signet ring has it would be
Yeah.
sealed.
So he kind of puts his house in there, and he just passes over and says, "Your thanks, my thanks to you, my friend. If you're ever in Excellion, please, you're a friend of House Hainault."
As you will be a friend of the Artificers Guild. At least as much as I can dredge up, of course.
Of course.
But I must bid you all adieu. And he taps 4 fingers to the forehead and points them towards you almost like this. You recognise that as quite a common Waldenese form of farewell. It's to represent their 4 gods.
Sure. So, being a member of the Union, I just reciprocated.
Yeah, you would reciprocate exactly the same way. And then a panel on the side, he sort of taps it, and it and forms stairs leading out.
Griffin leaves.
Till next we meet, my friend.
As Luca passes to leave, he holds out hand and says, "My thanks."
Yeah, he shakes it.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for your hospitality. And these wonderful stairs. They're quite a marvel.
Yeah, Amakai is staring at them in surprise.
Yeah.
He looks back at Elaine, and he looks back at the stairs.
It's not magic.
He just walks down the stairs.
Just mechanic.
He doesn't say anything. He literally just leaves.
You hear a bang on the wall again, and the stairs begin to sort of form up, and the wagon moves off. Like whilst they're halfway going, you can hear Elaine just going, "Come on then, Reeves! Onwards to the market. I have wares to sell, wine to drink, hookah to smoke, and women to lay with." And so you hear this sort of as almost on the wind as it travels off down the streets.
Griffin just watches him go and kind of goes,
I believe you found your spirit animal, my friend.
"Well, no point lustering after things we can't have. Come along, Jacob must be waiting."
Yes, Jacob.
Right.
You head back to the Rose and Sword, passing through the milling of people, going backwards and forwards through the streets of Greyhold. No one really is paying you much mind. They're kind of going about their business. It's about 1:30. No, it's about
2:30.
Yeah, it's about 2:30 now. Yeah, you left about 1 o'clock. So it's about 2:30 in the afternoon, and you arrive back at the Rose and Sword.
Very good.
Sure.
I'm going to go over to the bar and ask for Jacob.
There's a barman there, one that you haven't seen before, sort of polishing glasses.
Hello there.
Hello there. What can I get for you?
Jacob, if you will.
I'm afraid the boss isn't around at the moment, sir. Is there something that I can take a message for you, or anything along those lines?
Unfortunate. Where is he?
Oh, he's out on business, is the Lord.
Would you care to elaborate?
Tell Jacob we have returned from performing the task that he gave us.
Well, which task was that, my lord? I know that I'm expecting to receive certain patrons and employees of his at various points during the day. If you could be perhaps a bit more specific, I could check the ledger.
Accompanied the caravan to Erinshire.
Ah, you four. That makes sense. Bear me one moment, sirs. And he walks out the back. After a minute or so, he returns with a small wooden box. Nothing elaborate or ornate about it. But he says, "On behalf of Jacob and the shepherds, the caravan returned early yesterday evening. He thanks you for your service, and I believe his message was he hopes you found what you were looking for as well. Any drinks, gentlemen? Any food at all?"
And Mackay just opens up the box whilst he's talking.
Inside you see 15 cylinders, rows of 5, stacked 3 high, 150 gold pieces, as agreed upon, for the safe travel and passage of the caravan.
Very good. Well, we'll split that 4 ways this time.
And Mackay says,
Cheeky.
Okay, so how many gold pieces was it?
There's 150.
So
150.
we know the name of the mine that we need to go to.
The Gemscar, yes.
The Gemscar.
Mhm.
Okay. Tell me, how can we get to the Gemscar Mines?
Head out the south gate. As if you were taking the road down towards the Sun's Plains, just stick to the southeast. You want to go up into the hillside. Not quite before you reach the road that will take you to the couple, or the road to Kimburn. You'll know when you see it. Goes up into the hills. Can't really miss it.
Very well. To be safe, do you have a map? Or could you get me one?
I'm sure that there's someone that I could find to get a map. I could draw out a rough guide for you myself. Can't say it's been recently since I ventured out the city, but I'm sure I can procure one for you, gentlemen.
That would be most appreciated. How far is it there, on foot?
Ooh. Well, I'm just trying to think. We used to get some of the regulars who used to work the mines there. They would come in every now and then. From what I can remember, it would take them maybe 4 or 5 hours to get there by foot. Obviously faster if you're riding by the horses.
We do have horses in the stables here, don't we?
You do, yes.
Yeah. Very good. So at that, Griffin kind of looks at you. I'm still feeling well rested.
As am I.
Yes.
And I don't think we have much time to waste.
I think we should go. Let's collect our horse.
Agreed. And
So no drinks then?
no, not
No.
for the moment.
Very well, suit yourselves. I will advise the boss that you came along and took your payment.
Tell him that we've gone to the mines, he'll understand.
Erebin flicks him a copper, gives him a nod.
He sort of takes it. Wow. Thank you, sir. Don't go breaking all of that money that you've just taken there.
How much is the copper?
10 copper in a silver, 10 silver in a copper. So
Copper's not...
1/100th of a gold coin.
Okay, I'll reverse
It's like 1p essentially, isn't it?
Not necessarily, but I mean, just within the economy of Valtor, it's 100th of a gold piece. A gold piece is like, I mean, you would pay. Well, to be fair though, I mean, a copper piece is equivalent to maybe. Actually, no, a copper piece is like half a loaf of bread, so
right.
maybe 50p.
I'll reverse. I'll flick it with silver instead.
Okay.
I'm feeling a bit spenny right now.
Sure.
Now what does he say?
He says, "Thank you kindly, my lord."
Yeah, you better do. Very good.
Did you want that map at all, or will you be setting out straight away?
I think we need to move straight away, but if you could draw us that rough guide you said,
Sure.
that would be fine.
Yeah, he gives you a rough guide. Essentially, you would move south from Greyhold, follow it round, but before you take the main road towards the Sun's Plains and Radding, there's a small path that he directs you to, leading into the hillside, which is just on the edge of a cove of water called Jalen's Cove. It's a large bay of water. Just next to that is the Baywood.
Okay.
Hence his name.
Very good.
Got loads of money.
Loads of
Oh yeah, we're minted now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got 45 gold and 16 silver pieces.
Oh, Erevan. How quaint.
So you're going to leave.
And a song in my heart.
You're leaving straight away.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
so we'll go to the stables.
Okay.
God, right.
We can
Um,
camp under the moonlight if we need to.
yeah. So it's about.
That
By the
would
time
be
you reach
very
the
romantic.
stables, the stables are only about 10-15 minutes away. So by the time you reach the stables, you've had that conversation. It's probably about 10 to 3 in the afternoon. You get there. You've got the receipt for the stabling, which you hand over to the stable boy there. He sort of nods. "I'll fetch your horses at once, my lord."
Very good boy.
And he walks off. He comes back 2 at a time, these horses. They seem quite, they're well fed. You can tell that there's no, I mean, it's only been a few days, but you can tell that they're quite happy. They're almost reluctant to leave. You can tell that they're a bit like, about leaving. They've been fed
They've
and
been-
sort
yeah.
of watered.
Very good.
Sort of all this time, but they are horses of the College of Explorators. So these are not necessarily war horses, but these are stout travelling horses.
Yeah.
You sort of lead them through the streets of Greyhold back towards the south gate where you initially entered the city all those days ago. You're waved through. There's no checks here, but there is a few eyes watching you backwards and forwards, a few nudges here and there, as you're sort of leading them out the gate and you reach the open road.
So as we're riding along, Griffin turns to Erevan. I thought you were playing a pantomime. What happened to that lovely falsetto voice that you were using earlier?
I beg your pardon?
Algernon.
Oh, earlier. Well, no one's asked for our papers, so I don't want to embarrass myself any more than I have done in the last 24 hours.
Indeed.
I'm still getting over
Fair.
the incident with our lovely friend, the priestess.
I'm just saying you should be careful. I was under the impression that you were known in these parts
Perhaps.
for something that you might be carrying.
Perhaps. Well, doesn't look the same as it used to.
No, it's changed, hasn't it?
Yes.
Much like you.
Really?
Ever so slightly.
Well, I don't think there's anything to worry about, is it?
I hope not. Remember what I said.
I remember. But let's also not forget. Kept us all out of danger for the most part.
Griffin just kind of kicks his horse a bit forward. I saw your eyes.
What are you talking about, Griff?
That's Algernon.
The path out of the south gate is the same one as you used to bring yourself to Greyhold in the first place. But as per the directions of the barman, you stick to the southeasterly road as it splits off, rather than returning to the direction of Radding and the main bulk of the Sun's Plains. This road curves towards a number of craggy hills that skirt the edge of the Baywood, winding and turning along thick, shin-high grasslands. The pale brick road cuts through this lush green like a blade, gradually but slowly rising above it and heading into the hillside. You can hear the cries of gulls and the crashings of waves on the faintly on the wind, and the occasional tang of sea salt in the air. After about 2 hours, the road begins to level and it turns a corner round the hillside. There's a vast river flowing on your right-hand side, so imagine you're sort of following this path up the hills, and this river sort of flowing down towards Jalen's Cove, the bay of water that joins directly to the sea. And as you turn this corner, you see the sloping sides of the hills on your left, leading down to the plains, to the right, leading to these plains and the cove directly below. The sides are barricaded by wooden panels, fencing used to guide horses and carts. And ahead of you, it levels out to a small plateau enclosed by the hillside and trees. There's a large wagon set up by a wooden bridge, and it looks to begin to cut a river. This same river that you've seen on the right-hand side. But you can see that this bridge is broken about halfway through. The path splits, the brick road meandering to the east over this bridge, and there's a small dirt path heading northwards further into the hillside. Now, tethered to the post of this bridge is a mottled grey and brown horse grazing upon the lush grass. There's a halfling sat upon a checkered blanket, leaning against a toppled tree trunk like a chair.
No way.
A hamper is open on his blanket. There's a small fire crackling to the side, a spitted boar cooking above the flames. A ginger tabby cat is curled up asleep in front of the fire, and above the driver's seat there are two containers hanging. One, a bird cage on the left with a yellow and blue parrot inside, singing, sat upon its perch, and on the right is a fish bowl with a beautiful green and white fish circling around a toy castle.
Good lord.
The halfling looks up from a pie, almost as large as his head, and greets you with a hearty wave. His great bushy eyebrows with thick mutton chops that connect to a vast handlebar moustache that makes up most of the features on his face. He has a feathered brimmed hat sat upon dirty brown hair. He's got an outlandish cotton shirt on of red, blue and yellow patchworks roughly stitched together, fraying in places. The shirt is struggling to contain a protruding pot belly.
It's too much.
He's got bright green suspenders looping over his shoulders, holding up a baggy brown and beige tartan trousers, and his feet are bare, toes flexing in the sun, with muddy leather boots sat next to him on the tree trunk. "How do there, lads? Don't suppose you mind helping out an old fool who's found himself in a spot of bother?"
Griffin is just...
I'm going to tell you, we don't have time for this. But then looking to the... So you said, sorry, there was a bridge?
So there's a bridge which is out.
Yeah.
Like it's been broken. Like it's broken,
Right.
and there's a dirt path leading up into the hillside.
And our map indicates that we need to...
Your map doesn't go this far.
Oh,
So I mean, judging by the fact that you haven't come across any mines yet,
right.
you could probably surmise that going up into the hillside would
Would be where
where you go.
Maybe here's a thing or two.
What's the matter there?
Oh well. Basically, my name is Minoc Murpheus is my name. Myself, Jonesy, that's the dog. That's the fish over there. You got Beth, that's the cat by the fire. Terence is my bird, and Gertrude is the horse. Well, we're out here wandering. Wanderers is what you could call us. We're just travelling, taking in the sights and sounds of the world, places to meet, people to see, sounds and sights and all that.
My goodness.
There are great things to find out there, you know, but basically the bridge is out. Which is a bit of a problem when you've got your entire life inside a wagon and can't cross any bridge, so I cause that a bit of a problem, I does. I don't suppose you 4 young strapping lads would be able to help me out. I'd give you some of the fine pickings of my food, I could.
Does anybody have a bridge on them?
No, I don't believe I do.
Well,
Let me check. I'm sure we could help in some way, as we need to cross this bridge as well. What
No, we
seems to be the
don't. We
problem?
need to go into the mountains.
Is
The
the mountain
mountains, you
going
say?
into the bridge?
No, the dirt road leads away from the.
Oh, I thought you had to cross it. No, that's fine. Scratch what I just said. Pay attention, Rob. Come on.
Alas, we're in much of a hurry. What is it that you need us to do?
Well,
If we have time, we can spare a moment, but not much longer.
just a few logs, take it down from the trees there. If you lay it over, maybe I'll carry my wagon across myself. Did I see something funny there, lad?
not at all.
So you want us to split the tree?
Well, just maybe 1 or 2. It would do me a right solid favour. I'd be happy to repay it in kind. Not with a bridge, mind you, because if I had a bridge to pay you with, then all my problems would be resolved, wouldn't they?
Do you have an axe?
Well, I'm sure I could rustle something up from inside.
Go on then. Amrakai gets off the horse.
He sort of launches himself to his feet, trots over to the wagon, goes inside.
Looks at the cat, regards it.
Sleeping. Like,
Yeah, Amrakai's just like looking at it.
Griffin's kind of just watching him going into the caravan. He's just kind of going.
Does he remind you of someone, Griffin?
he, after a while, he emerges with 2 large woodcutter's axes and a big 2-handed saw. He's like, "Now, I'm not sure if these would work. I'm not exactly the most outdoorsy type, you understand, but I'm assuming that these would work fine."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amrakai takes one of the axes.
Luca gets down from his horse and takes one of the axes as well.
Yeah, he actually takes one and throws it at you.
Yeah.
He just disregards these 2, basically.
Everyone pulls out a pipe and watches.
So just you 2 are doing it.
Well, he had a
There's
saw
only-
as well.
There are only 2 axes, right?
Yeah, 2 axes and a big, like, lumberjack saw.
Does he? How many branches of this tree are there?
Well, the trees themselves are quite sort of large and thick. Probably branch-wise, there's a few low-hanging ones. By your estimate, maybe 6 or 7 of them would work. They're maybe sort of this thick, probably not enough for the wagon to form a bridge.
Right. Even if we've got 6 or 7 of them, so we need a full tree then.
Probably, yeah.
So, has no one picked up the saw yet?
Well, we'd need to make an indentation first anyway. For the saw.
Okay.
So
Come along, Elvan. It appears they need our help, even
Amrakai
though they did not ask for it.
strides across the tree which he thinks would be most fitting to help repair the bridge, and he hacks into it 3 times to make a groove that the saw would be able to fit into.
Yeah, you make a nice, big, heavy dent.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're doing it in such a way so that it falls towards that bridge area
Yes.
as well? Cool.
He then drops the axe, gets onto one side of the saw, and then looks over.
Sure. Yeah,
And we start sawing.
it takes you about 10 minutes or so to carve through it, but it falls, creates this almost bridge. It's not quite wide enough for the wagon to fit over. The halfling sort of looks at you, Minnock, and he goes, "Well, it's not too bad, that actually, lad. Warms my heart to see you such nice, fine young people out there willing to help all those others out there. It's not quite enough, though. You reckon you could do a second one?"
Luca takes the axe and spots another tree.
Well, because Aravan and I have jumped down, so I'm assuming while you were soaring, we've been going at another one with an axe.
Now, why don't you Eldritch Blast cut a tree down? Just for time's sake.
You could try.
No, I'm good.
Oh, why don't you just use the arms of Hadar?
So you 2 are doing a separate tree.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
their
yeah.
one falls down. You guys are maybe halfway through it.
I'm not using
Yeah.
Eldritch Blast.
Yeah.
You're halfway through it.
I'm agile like a cat.
Neither of them have a good strength score.
Slow and steady wins the race.
But eventually, it sort of falls down and topples as well. The horse and the cat don't seem to be moved or budged by this. The crash of tree. They just sort of seem to, like, the cat rolls over, the horse sort of.
Okay, is that enough to get him across? Do we think?
He sort of looks over. I reckon that'll do me quite nicely.
I
That.
pat the cat now that my job's done.
The cat sort of again rolls over.
Yes.
With the belly rub.
Yes, it does. Scratch that belly. I scratch it. So
He looks at it and just goes, I reckon I can make do with that quite nicely, gentlemen. Please come and sit by my fire. I'll give you some of the choicest of my morsels if you need something for the road. You say you're busy, I understand that. But young boys, young men like yourselves, you got to have something to fill you up. You're constantly growing, you are. I wouldn't know about that, what with me being so small and all.
Very good.
Amrakai walks over to his fireplace.
Well, I'm already there. Like
Yeah.
I'm playing
Well,
with the cat.
Luca says, as we said, we are in a hurry, but we would appreciate it. So he approaches and then kind of regards the bird as well. He just has a quick look at it.
Yeah, this bird's sort of just singing along, seems quite content in its cage. There's quite a few choice morsels of food. There's roast pork, pastries, cakes, raw veg, dips,
Also, one little
sauces.
fellow like this guy.
Dips.
Oh,
Love dip.
He sort of sits down, takes this big chunk of like a meat pie, starts shoveling it in his face. He's like, so you say you're in a hurry then? What is it that brings you out this way?
We're here for the mines.
The mines, you say?
Yeah.
Not the Gemscar.
The very same.
Oh,
You could say we have an appointment to keep.
an appointment to keep, you say? Well,
We're after actually specifically Stonecap mushrooms.
I don't suppose you have any.
well, not on me, I'm afraid, but so they say that the Gemscar's got them. I mean, not exactly my cup of tea, that place, if you go by what I've heard. There's no gold or diamonds down there, just orcs and goblins. Not exactly pretty either.
Orcs.
And goblins.
I hate orcs. He spits.
So what is it you need there? There's no appointment out there. That place is long gone, they say.
I guess you could say it's on the way to an appointment, as you said. We need something from it that we've been told at least was there anyway.
And you need these stone caps, is it?
We do.
Ooh, sounds like some of yous are on a quest.
Perhaps.
Oh.
If you could call it that, yeah.
We could.
Oh, okay.
Then tell me all about this quest. I mean, if you're going to call it a quest, you've got to give a man details. It's very lonely out here on the road. It's nice to see such friendly faces, but, you know, sometimes a man goes a little stir crazy, likes to hear a bit of a tale, tall tales, stories.
I'm afraid I'm not one for tall tales like this. Maybe Griffin is better versed at that kind of thing.
So he looks over at you, like, munching, like...
Forgive me, friend. We don't have time for this. Your company has been most welcome, and you have an excellent cat, if I may say so. However, we've got you on your way. We must now be on ours. It is quite literally a matter of life and death. And with that, I will let your imagination fill in the gaps. How about that?
You can't leave a man on a cliffhanger like that. That's rude, that is.
Perhaps you'll find us on return, in which case we can fill out the cliffhanger for you then.
Oh, I doubt that. And if you're in such of a rushes you rushy want to rush about, maybe, hang on, I'll rewind that. As much of a rush, here we go, I did get it in the end, right? If you're in as much of a rush as you reckon you says you are, then you probably will go straight past old Minoc here, won't even give me time of day again.
Well, Minoc, I mean no offence, but we've given you more than enough time than we would have anyone else. So, be thankful for that. Gentlemen, I say we leave.
But Amrakai does take some of that pork belly. So he goes, let's take some.
It's good, that. Keep you right proper
Starts
for
eating
that.
it. Yeah.
Alright, well, it's been a pleasure then, gentlemen. I must say I'm a little disappointed. It brings a tear to my eye that you won't regale an old man with your stories, but I understand. Business is business. Been there myself, you know, adventurer back in the day. Safe travel, lads.
You enjoy that bridge.
Good luck in your lives. I will enjoy that bridge, my elven friend. Oh, to be young again, travelling and adventuring, doing that good life. Oh, brings another tear to my eye, does that. Pay it forwards, lads. That's what my dad always used to say. Good deeds lead to more good deeds.
Yeah. Griffin keeps kind of stopping going.
As you sort of as he sort of says, "Good deeds lead to more good deeds," you hear a vroom behind you. You turn and there's just a dust cloud, and you hear a and the wagon is gone.
What, including him?
Yes. The
Wow.
wagon, the animals, everything is gone. The bridge is still there though.
Oh, we should have got him to do something for us.
He's a magical genie!
He should have gone and
It's come!
He should have gone to get us some bags more
Amrakai does look shocked because he didn't sense the tide until.
At that Griffin kind of goes,
He didn't even need the bridge.
interesting.
What manner of creature would do that?
I suppose we'll never know. And quite frankly, you might not want to finish eating that.
Yes.
You do feel a warmth in your belly from the food that you've eaten.
Like a bad warmth?
No, like comfort, happiness, strength.
Amrakai eats that.
You all gain 5 temporary hit points. And you have advantage on the first skill check that you make within the next 24 hours.
What a legend. What was his name?
Hang on.
Wow.
And we were at full hit points, so we get another 5.
So temporary hit, we haven't done temporary hit points yet, have we?
No.
So temporary hit points are basically almost like a shield.
Right.
So
Yes!
let's say you took so you've got 60 hit points currently.
Yeah.
You've got 5 temporary hit points. Let's say a monster attacks you and does 2 hit points of damage.
Yeah.
Your temporary hit points go down, your normal hit points stay the same.
Stay the same.
Let's say it then does 7 hit points of damage.
Mm.
You would take away the 3 from your temporary hit points,
Huh?
and then the remainder would come off your
Oh,
normal.
yeah.
So you basically have a slightly larger health pool until you get new temporary hit points.
Oh,
They last indefinitely.
Wow.
Oh,
Generally.
right.
These
Very
ones
good.
do anyway. That's how I've written it.
I love that.
That's very cool.
Yeah. Mm. I
Well,
was tempted to
just
like engage a little bit further. Like,
Yeah.
I wanted to know where the animals are from. Like,
I know, but we kind of have to save someone's life.
I know. Yeah.
Trust me, Griffin of all people wanted to stay there.
Yeah.
But also, that he was very torn, and that's why he went and patted the cat, because he knew he'd have to leave soon.
I'm sorry, Kitty.
I want a cat.
The dirt road.
Something tells me we
elevates-
haven't heard. We'll see him again.
Yeah.
What, a cat? I hope so.
Yeah. The dirt road elevates and rises further into the hills, well worn but still there, present over the bumps and dips. Winding upwards, the tip of the baywood encroaching on the edges of the road, the drops below steep, murky in the darkness of the forest. Eventually, another hour or so, it flattens out once again. The road coming to an end. There's a large cave mouth nestled into the hillside on your left. There's machinery of wood, lifts and rope pulleys dotted about its entrance, scaffolding and ladders providing an entrance to the cave hole itself. And there's some small lodges of wooden logs that are arrayed around the edge of this area. But it's otherwise empty from what you can see.
Okay. Yeah, we'll continue on the approach.
Mm-hmm.
To the mine, to the lodges, to the area.
Well, to the
I
area.
think-
The mine.
Mine.
If it's empty, why would you go to the mine?
Well, it doesn't appear to be empty by the sounds of it, filled with orcs and goblins.
Mm.
No, the lodge was empty, right?
The area is empty. The
Yeah.
lodges you haven't looked into yet.
The lodges
yeah.
are on the way to the mines, though.
Yeah, so
Yeah, yeah.
if you
Yeah.
imagine this,
Well, we're
you've
gonna pass them,
you've
so-
come into this large enclosed area. There's a mine hole on the side here, scaffolding, ladders, like wooden constructs leading up to it. There's 4 lodges sort of opposite it.
Right.
Okay, well, we're going on the way, so
We may as well have a peek in those
Yeah.
lodges.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
The lodges you see have been long since abandoned. There's nothing of note within. They're not rotted or destroyed, but they've begun to be taken back by the elements. Grass overgrowing the sides of it, dust is lying on every surface. There's nothing of value in here. You
No torches or anything?
No. In fact, you looking at them properly or just as a cursory?
Amakai has a proper look in
Yeah.
when he goes.
Could you make an investigation check for me, please?
It's a 9.
Okay. It seems a bit odd, but there are chunks of wood missing from the outside. Not like they've been clawed at, but rather they've been stripped.
Amakai points it out to Griffin. Looters?
Potentially. Or, if what that halfling said is true, orcs, goblins, perhaps they're reinforcing their hold.
Maybe. Come on, let's get on with this. Amakai mounts his horse, keeps going towards the mine.
Okay. Well, the mine's literally like 100 feet over from the lodges.
Sure, so I'll lead the horse to the entrance of the mine. I'm assuming it's not tall enough to ride horse.
It's a ladder. If a horse can climb a ladder, that'd be some
be amazing.
Skyrim levels of.
So we have to
Bugness.
descend into the mine?
Descend to the mine.
Yeah.
Okay, so in that case, when Griffin sees that, he actually just he kind of grabs all the horses really,
Yeah.
and just takes them off to like somewhere probably behind one of the lodges, or finds a spot where he just ties them up.
Yeah, sure. You'd find a few hitching posts.
Yeah.
Round by the lodges. Yeah.
Is there any way we can leave like water? Can we water them or anything like that? There's no little wells or anything like that out here.
No.
Cool, fine. So I just leave them, give them a pat, and then come back.
So this is about 4:30ish in the afternoon at this point.
Cool.
Alright,
Go for
Just
the mine.
so long as I know that.
So what can we see as we're looking into the mine? What can we see immediately?
Okay, so as you climb the ladder to the entrance of the cave mouth, you see that it descends into the earth. There's a buffer stop at the end with a rail track descending into the darkness. Now, part of the track is illuminated by the sun as it dips into this hillside, and there's a large cavernous area, but the edges of which you can't see beyond, they're pitch black beyond the sunlight. You can make out the beginnings of a few tunnels on the sides of this chamber.
Amakai does light a torch,
Yeah, I'll follow suit.
and he just, without saying anything to anyone else, it's like those obvious that we're going in, so
Yeah.
he gets onto the ladder and starts the descent.
Yep. Cool.
Same.
As you walk through the mine, you can't shake the feeling that something is watching you, but you can't hear or see anything other than yourselves.
Does it feel like magic?
You're not sure.
Okay.
Now, in the interest of not spending several role-playing hours exploring an abandoned mine, for what it's worth, you need £4 worth of Stonecap. Now, the Gemscar is a vast mine, backwards and forwards through winding caverns, tunnel network. There's myriad number of entrances and exits that seem to double back in and on themselves like veins. But the blood of the mines, the gems, and the Stonecap appears to have long since dried up. As you venture deeper underground, slowly and inexorably, you see some of the tunnels are boarded up, some are collapsed in on themselves, or lead to nothing but black pits. Are you going at a reasonable pace, a fast pace, slow?
I would say reasonable.
Yeah.
Reasonable.
Because we want to still feel that we're...
Sure.
Because we are looking for the Stonecap.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. At least 3 hours have passed, and you've only managed to scrounge up about 12 ounces of Stonecap.
Wow.
So we have gotten some...
You found some, this sort of craggy grey mushroom.
How much do we need again?
£4.
Right.
You found, what's 12 ounces, like not even a pound's worth yet. And aside from you four, the mines have been lifeless and empty, and yet suddenly through the gloom, you hear a faint screeching and guttural roarings echoing down from a tunnel to the side of you.
Yeah, Amakai
Griffin,
moves towards it.
Griffin draws Dawn of Hell.
There's nothing here but that noise, I believe. There must be some sustenance down there. That's the way we go.
So you're going down the tunnel?
Yes.
Yeah, towards the noise, yeah.
Alright, cool. The tunnel twists and turns round. You see a small side tunnels everything that you've sort of seen before. Nothing of note down then, but the roar and the screeching gets louder the further you go down this main sort of pathway. And after a small while, it turns a corner. The roars and the grunts are at their loudest, and that presence that you cannot shake seems to intensify, becoming a dull buzz, forming as if there was a bee trapped in a glass jar held up next to your ear.
Huh.
You two have dark vision.
I have Eldritch Sight.
Oh, you've taken Eldritch
Oh.
Sight. Oh wait, no, is that the magic one or... Oh no, I'm thinking of the detect magic one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so Eldritch Sight, so your Warlock invocations, there's two ones to do with sight. One's Eldritch Sight, one's Devil Sight. Devil Sight gives you 120 foot dark vision. Eldritch Sight allows you to cast detect magic at will.
Oh.
So you can just go, is it magic? Yes, it is.
Okay.
Or, not, as the case may be.
Is it
But
magic?
I do have good vision anyway.
You do, yeah. It's like a hawk. You
Not
do
these
see...
ones, it's these ones.
You do, owl vision. You two see, so a torchlight extends 20 foot of dim light and
Yep.
20 foot of bright light. I believe it might be 60 foot, but either way. What you two see, maybe some 50 foot away from you, the tunnel goes down and dips up into a small cavern. There's a heavily armoured creature, some 50 foot away, standing in the centre, swinging these axes around. A number of small grey and black robed creatures. So screeching, these axe blows carve through them, goblins splayed and strewn everywhere. Occasionally you see larger creatures, though not quite as big as this central armoured figure, running towards them, axes and meaty cleavers raised. You feel, or you hear these cries of pain. You hear this crunch of bone. You see these axes smash into the side of one of these orcs that are running towards it. Another one splits a goblin in two. You hear a boot of metal, like plate, heavy metal, clanging against another one's bones. And there's a whooshing of arrows, twanging of bowstrings coming from the darkness.
So seeing this,
This sort of
I just
continues
sort of
on.
Yeah.
hold my hand up, turn around. We may have a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elendir
And I'll
appears in
describe what
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
seeing.
Yeah.
How big is it, from what we can tell?
It's big.
Big.
He's like 8 foot tall.
Okay.
He's probably
And-
like 4 foot wide at the chest.
Is this just a big opening, or is there?
It's like it's small. It's a small chamber. From what you can see, sort of like looking through, you can see that there's tunnels leading off to the sides as well.
How humanoid can we tell him?
He's humanoid, but he's too big to be human, and
Right.
you can see the flash of like light grey skin,
Okay.
heavily muscled, sinewy veins popping out.
Right, okay.
Well, Anmakai continues to move down the tunnel because he can see that far, letting the torchlight, light his way.
Yeah,
And
Luca kind
Elendir is now in his other
of.
hand.
Yeah,
I'll
Luca kind of looks at him as we've kind of been describing this, just silently, just kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As the light comes into view, you two can see this central figure, and he bang headbutts an orc in the face in front of him, boots him across,
Good lord.
begins
He
yelling again.
So it's orcs that he's fighting.
Yeah, this central figure just headbutts another orc. You hear this crack of broken nose and spray of blood, and eventually, the closer you get, that buzzing sound, almost in response to this roar, you don't hear it, you feel this deep scratching sound like metal being dragged across clay, and a deep rumbling bass that seems to bounce around and rattle in your head. The attackers halt and begin to disperse down the tunnels, and eventually so does the sound and the buzzing in your head. The single creature stands there, axes swinging, and then eventually he plants an axe into the ground and goes down to his knee, and you can hear just...
He's aware of us being there, isn't he?
Well, if he is, he hasn't paid attention, but he did turn towards the light as it broke his vision.
I kind of look towards Amrika and think, I'm not sure what we should do. What do you think?
Ho there, Anmakai says.
Oh.
And steps forward.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so Griffin follows.
Yeah.
The creature rears up, like I said, easily 8 foot tall.
Yeah, so Amakai's looking up at this thing.
Dark grey, he turns round, dark grey skin, covered in scars. He's clad in this crude but seemingly effective set of wrought iron armour, strapped on with leather belts, and he's got a fur-trimmed brown cloak affixed to one of the shoulder plates. His axes, now that you can see them, are made of like a black obsidian.
Oof.
And atop his bald head, he has this fine circlet, a large sapphire embedded in its centre, and oddly a pair of glasses that appear to be made of steel wire on his face, looping round, tied together to stop them from falling off. There's no glass in them.
I see.
He sort of affixes an axe to his belt, hoists another one up.
Luca kind of holds up his arms as if to...
This is not a good place for pink skins. What are you doing here?
We were exploring. We were after Stonecap mushrooms, in fact.
Stonecap? Good stuff. My boys found lots when we got here. Not much in the upper parts. The pinkskins before us took all of that. But we orcs are all muscle. We can dig deeper. We don't tire as easy. We dig longer. We found new caves. Lots of gems for trading. Lots of mushrooms for eating. We dug deeper still. But then my boys started to not come back. We find no stones to trade, no metals to build, only death and madness for my boys.
What did they find?
I think it's a cage.
More what?
Well, from the ones that weren't too mad, that's what it sounded like.
Cage.
It's called a prison. Not sure what you call it. I would call it a cage, where you bung in someone that you don't want letting out.
A prison in these caves.
So it seems. I've tried to get there myself, but too many of my boys, too many of them to help me get through. I've tried to lure them out one by one, but I've nearly got them all.
And what about these orcs that you've been fighting?
Broken. It's a mercy to put them down. They're not orcs. Orcs always fight each other, that's our nature. But this was wrong.
Are there many?
Quite a few. But I'm not killing orcs and goblins anymore. They're too dangerous. Never strong enough in the first place if they went mad. Worthless to me now. I'll have to start over.
So what are you doing?
At this, he sort of stands up a bit straighter. He moves a hand to these glasses that he has. And you can see this almost smile break across his face. Yellow stained teeth through the gloom, smiling. He's like, I want a castle. I'm going to be a businessman.
And you would have this be your castle?
No, this is a means to an end. War, always fighting. It's the orc way. Sometimes it's good fun too. But trade is your people's way. You still have your wars, but when you're not fighting, you want to swap things. That seems to make you happy. I think we should try this as well. Not many orcs agree with me, so I would give them the shiny stones to show them that this was a good idea. That there are rewards to maybe doing things a little differently. And those that didn't want to join were free to leave, too stupid to see that this was good, and some fought me, thinking I was weak. So I crushed their skulls. It's not weak to want better things for your clan.
So speaking of trade, we need these mushrooms. Can you get them for us, and what would you like in return?
Aye.
Help me put my boys down. End their suffering. Find out what's turned them mad. I'll take you to the best place for your Stonecap.
I looked to the others.
Well,
Fair enough.
So be it.
We are limited on our time, though.
Time's all we've got down here. It'll take a while to get to where we need to go, but I'll get you there as quick as we can. I don't want to spend a minute longer here if I can. I've got other things that I want to be doing. Castles to build, new clan to get now. Never ends.
He sort of hitches one of his other axes and holds out this big, gauntleted, meaty arm.
Dusk! Call me Dusk the Mighty.
And Rakai. And I put my hand out.
He takes it. His hand is almost as large as your head.
Yeah.
Like you can feel it sort of crushing down. But he's really eager and sort of happy to do this.
Happy to know you.
Yes. First pink skin that hasn't gone running away when I talk about trade. Very strange for people that want to trade so much who never want to talk to one of me. That'll change. Progress is not easy.
I have a friend who is also one of your kin. His name is Kane.
He's not an orc.
Is he not?
No.
He sounds like an orc.
Kane's just like really stupid.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, I just thought he
What
was
is that,
like
like a
a
ogre or
something.
No,
like
he's
that.
just a really big.
Because he's like 8 foot tall.
Yeah, he's just a really big human.
I literally
I just-
always pictured him as an orc.
Yeah, I just thought he was just like Hodor or something like
I
that.
thought he had a bit of giant's blood in him.
Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows?
Okay. All right. Then I do not say that to him.
Where are
Very
they?
good.
He sort of looks down one of the tunnels.
Follow me.
Leading the way, the tunnels of these deepest places, roughly dug, crudely supported, a stark contrast to the apparent human dug tunnels of the upper levels of the mine. The occasional distant goblin screech or orcish roar echoes faintly in the distance, but dusk leads you ever onwards, turning, every so often, down a side tunnel here, or squeezing through a closely formed pathway there. After maybe 40 minutes, you come to a small passageway. One of the walls has been carved away, and he gestures, a closed fist, to stop. As you approach this hole, the buzz in your ear becomes a full, dull drone, akin to a horde of locusts on the horizon. It's not enough to distract you fully from your task, but it's enough to announce its presence and grab your attention should you pay any mind or focus on it.
The thing is down here. Help me end it, and I'll get you Stonecap.
What do you think this thing is? We felt like, I'm sure all of us have, that something's been watching us since we entered here. And there was a noise. Did you all hear it?
Like a vibrating or scratching.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was as though it existed in my mind, though. I didn't hear it.
Yes, exactly.
You hear the sort of the sound of leather grips, like. You look to Dusk and his hands are clenched on the axes.
It's what my boys used to say. The buzzing, the droning. I suggest you don't listen to it.
It will be hard.
Do you not hear it yourself?
He taps the circlet on his head.
Whatever this thing is, it helps me.
Don't suppose you have another 4 of those lying around?
Nah, this is my circlet of brainy things.
Fair enough.
Gives me the visions that I need to become a successful businessman, I think.
Visions.
Visions of a castle.
So that's a secret then, eh, Griffin? We just need a circlet of brainy things.
I left mine back in Excellion, unfortunately.
Oh, shame.
I'll never leave him without it again.
He sort of hops through this hole, and as you follow suit, it comes to the edge of a large pit. The rock snakes like a natural pathway down into the cavern, and embedded in the rock, at least 20 foot high, is a great stone archway. You don't recognise it. It doesn't look like any architecture that you've seen before.
But why is that significant? I'm assuming it's extremely different from everything else we've seen in the mine.
Doesn't feel. There's something about it that feels off, but you can't place your finger on it. There's something about it as you look at it. It feels like it shouldn't be the shape that it is.
Okay.
Can I use my Eldritch Sight and see if it's magical?
Magic as anything, like
Okay.
super magic.
I assume I'm seeing the tide around it too.
Yeah, but he's using detect magic, so
Okay.
you can go. This is obviously magic.
Right.
You go. This is magic as.
Yeah.
Flipping
This is magic as
doorways.
flip.
Yeah.
You can see this if you use your Eldritch Sight, your detect magic. So what do you have? You've got Armor of Shadows, detect magic, and agonizing blast.
Yeah.
You sort of look at it, and it almost radiates with as if you were to stare at the sun. Like it almost burns.
Wow. Okay.
What do you see? I say, because I can see that you're regarding it.
Yeah.
Caravan.
Too much. There's an immense amount of power here. I couldn't tell you what it is, but it's overwhelming to say the least.
I see.
We need to be very, very careful.
You hear the clattering through the archway, roaring, screeching, and the sound of chipping, metal on stone chipping.
We have to proceed. We have no choice. We've come this far.
People still working here?
Dusk is already sort of halfway down this pathway.
Yeah, I'll follow you.
Yeah.
I'll say this as we're walking.
Well, I need to pay for this castle they're talking about.
His boys are dead, I say to you.
I think they may have been for a while.
That was my thought too.
Poor fellow. That circlet maybe is leading him astray.
Either that or it's the only thing that's kept him alive. But either way, I think he's been here a while.
Let's see if we can help him.
Aye.
One way or another.
As long as the way is quickly.
If he can get us those Stonecap mushrooms.
It'll be worth it. Come, let's catch up with him.
Might lead with the Lendir. Still got the torchlight.
Oh yeah, the dawn of Hainault is well and truly
Yeah,
joy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're all armed at this stage, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're... Okay, how are you approaching this archway?
How wide is the corridor? 2 by 2, 3 by 3?
It's 20 foot high. It's about 15 foot wide, so it's three foot. Sort of a good 3 people
We
width.
could go 3 abreast, yeah. But he's just gone slightly ahead of us, so I'm
Yeah,
just
he's
right
slightly
behind
ahead, but
him.
he's not gone into the place yet.
Oh, has he waited? Then I go and take a step to his right. So I step sort of shoulder to shoulder with him.
Mm-hmm.
I'll rustle up to his left.
I'll take the rear.
So you two are
I'll
there.
be in the middle.
Perfect.
The T of justice.
Is that the party name? You haven't got a party name yet.
Now we do.
Griffin and his girls.
The T party.
Okay.
No.
Are
So,
you ready? Yeah.
You sort of approach this archway. You can see like Dusk has taken his axes sort of loose. He's not quite gone through yet. You can see him sort of almost like looking down through the arch.
You said he's pretty well armed, isn't he? You said.
He's wearing basically plate mail.
Awesome.
Like
He can
he's
go in the front.
he's beefy.
As Luco comes up to his side, he draws out the dagger as well in the other hand.
You have a dagger?
Yeah. Remember that dagger we found at the old mate's place?
dagger.
Yep. He says to Dusk, "Do you know what this is? Do you know what is behind that?"
Bad magic.
You've not been through this corridor before, have you?
Not wanted to come down here by myself.
Didn't trust that I couldn't get to them all. I've pulled them out one by one, slowly. They followed me, the stragglers at the back. But they're digging.
Well, let's end this thing here.
As you pass through the archway, there's a large paved walkway with an intricate mosaic design and extends over a chasm, the bottom of which you cannot see.
Wow.
The walkway is 30 foot wide and at least 100 foot in length. At the end, jutting from the rock, is a large bluish silver vein of crystal like moonstone, some 40 foot high in width and height, and it's pulsing with this gloomy silver light. It fills the area with a dim light.
Right.
So you can see relatively clearly, but there is some dimness, so it's not full bright light. There's a huge number of orcs and goblins arrayed before it, hacking away with weapons, mining equipment, almost scrambling over each other to try and chip away at this moonstone. And the pulsing light begins to speed up. And some of the rearmost orcs and goblins, those closest to you, turn in your direction. You hear roars, snarls, screeches, and they begin to trudge towards you.
And so we're on a walkway which is 30 feet wide and 100 feet to the other side.
Yep.
So we're at this stage about 90 feet away from them?
Yep.
Because we're on the other side of the walkway, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So let's roll for initiative.
Ah!
So through the hissing and snarling across the walkway, this incessant hammering and chipping comes across from the moonstone. So for the purposes of the battle grid, where the curve is where this moonstone crystal is. You can see that the area is teeming with orcs and goblins. A lot. Like almost too many to count, very difficult to keep track of with how many are sort of crawling over each other and like leaning past each other, the goblins moving between the orcs' legs, trying to break through this crystal. But some of them are beginning to notice as you approach.
We'll give them something to notice.
So let's roll for initiative.
Yes!
Let's start with Griffin.
Yes! Yes! So I rolled a 17.
Whoa!
Plus 7 is
good one.
24.
24.
It's an 11 plus 4 is 15.
Oh, that's...
I have my charisma.
I got a natural 20.
Oh my god.
Dexterity.
+2.
So
22.
22, same as Griffin, but Griffin has a
Oh,
higher
plus
dex
2.
basic.
13.
So 13, Luco.
I rolled a 16 plus 2 becomes 18.
Sa.
Yep. So dusk.
Will we need, Chef, the entirety of the battle grid, like as in the curved part where the crystal is in?
It depends how far up you push.
Okay.
So, I mean, at the risk of literally throwing every single model that I have on there, it wouldn't be enough models.
That's interesting.
Very good.
Well, for the
So-
moment, the viewers at home can see the first 2/3 of it. So
Okay, that's
We
fine.
can
We
always
can
cut
always
in
push
if we
it
need
through
to.
and cut
Yeah.
as and when we need to. Readjust the camera. The wonders of editing.
Yes.
That I don't have to do, but Bone does. Right, so we've got 1, 2, so there's the group with the bows, the group with the spears,
Oh, yes. It's a ranged weapon. Actually.
the group with the melee weapons. Okay, Griffin,
Aw.
you start first.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's have a look. Let's see how this looks. So, what's the maximum distance I can go again?
So you can go 30 foot.
30 foot.
You can
and-
dash as a
and-
bonus action via your cunning action, being a rogue, to
And
double that to 60 feet. So that's 6 squares or 12.
Great. And I can move through my friends here.
You can move through your friends, you cannot move through hostile creatures.
Fair enough. Excellent. So Griffin, seeing these little goblins coming out, he just goes, sport. Charges forward. Right, this one that's leading at the front. I imagine he's kind of got his spear, like going, ah!
Yeah.
Griffin just literally goes forward, knocks the spear out of the way with the back of his hand, and just stabs him straight through the head
Wow.
as he drops to the ground and dies.
Okay.
Poor little goblin.
Yeah. Poor little dead
You're
goblin.
dead.
So I rolled a 1.
Oh, mate.
This is Let's carry on quickly now. Quickly now.
Anything else?
Yeah, sorry, real quick.
Oh.
What was that thing about we could roll advantage on one of our check?
Skill checks.
That's a skill check, not a okay.
Skill check.
Just
Oh.
anything we can do to, you know.
So Griffin doesn't do that, and then he kind of goes,
Okay.
Huh.
The one with the sword will slice at you because you didn't attack him. You attacked the one with the spear.
I'll just stay in combat then.
Okay then. Amrika, your turn.
Right. Well, and as
Good start.
Amrakai saw this horde of goblins start to charge up, he starts to prepare a spell, and then he sees Griffin just run into his field of vision, and you can see the power dissipate. He then looks to Erevan, and then looks back up to the goblin hordes. And just momentarily, I will now have to rethink what I'm going to do.
You can cast it anyway. To be fair, I probably deserve whatever's going to happen.
Roll a 1.
Yeah.
So if I used sleep,
Just
so creatures within 20 feet of a point I choose.
Within 90-foot range.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, plunk it at the back. Back right.
Couldn't I potentially do it at the back here? To not get Griffin?
Yeah, yeah.
And then still get all of them?
You 20-foot radius, so 1, 2...
5, 10, 15, 20.
Yeah. That would get
Wow.
all of them, and it would probably get some ones that aren't on the battle grid yet because
Yeah.
they have yet to join the battle.
Yep. So that is literally... And Rakai, sort of, you see him pause. He does turn to Erevan, and then it looks like he changes the spell that he was going to do. You could see that his hands were starting to crackle with lightning.
Yep.
So instead, he just throws his hand forward and says something under his breath, and then literally the goblins just drop on the ground, sleeping.
So I don't make any save on this. You just roll.
So yeah, the spell sends creatures into a magical slumber. Roll 5d8. At high levels, if I use if I use the second level spell slot, which I don't have yet. So it's 5d8.
All right, cool.
5d8.
Do you need more d8s?
Yeah, as many d8s as we have.
two.
There's 1,
Free there.
there's 3, 4, 5.
Alright.
5d8. Okay, we have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Okay, so the ones with bows have the lowest hit points. Then it'll be the ones with spears. So how many was it? Sorry,
16.
60. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Fall asleep.
Oh. You should do the one in front of me, because then Griffin would turn around like, ha ha! Look at what I've done.
Anything else?
Right. You're... No, not yet.
Okay. Just gonna stay where you are.
For the moment.
Alright, cool.
Right.
Luca, your turn.
Cool. So he sees this happen before him, and he just... I don't think we've seen this before. Have you used this before? You haven't?
Yeah, he
I
did.
have, yeah,
Okay.
once.
Oh, well.
Twice, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
twice.
Well, regardless, he's impressed. So he was. So he just goes, shears his dagger, and then charges forward towards. He'll go straight for this guy. What? 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yep. Let's make it. Cool. So he charges forward. It kind of gives a little hop as he kind of winds up his spear, and with both hands, of course, almost like a hockey stick.
Yep.
So, what? And oh yeah, I'm raging.
Okay, cool.
And let's make sure of it. I'll attack recklessly. So first one, at advantage. Hey! I rolled a 3, but I also rolled an 18. So that's
Hey!
7 makes 25. So I get the damage for that.
Right there, mate.
Yeah, brilliant. Where's my d8s? Right there. Oh wait, dummy. Damage is 3 plus 6 makes 9.
One's
Cool.
dead.
Yeah, remove that goblin.
Yeah! Oh, yeah!
See ya.
Nice.
Okay,
See ya.
now can I?
How many squares did you move?
30. I moved 35.
So you've got 5 more feet. You've got 1 more square of movement because you've got 40-foot move as
If
a
I go-
unarmored barbarian.
If I go yoink, can I now attack him with my second action?
Yep, you are within 5 feet of it.
Lovely. Second attack. That's 15.
That's a hit.
Alright. Damage. What's that? A 1.
A 1.
Goody. That becomes 7, I believe.
Plus 4 for your strength, plus 2 for
Yes.
rage. So plus 7. Yep, remove that goblin.
Yay!
Wow.
Did you roll a 1?
Yeah.
And
On
he's
a
dead.
damage, he's dead. Oh.
Okay.
Excellent.
Wow. Griffin feels sorry.
Dusk charges over here. 1, 2, 3. To that one. Swings one of his axes round. Yep, he hits. Yep, there's a goblin removed. He then takes a step forward, carves down at this one that's asleep.
Nice.
Wow.
Yep. And that is...
They're all being killed.
Yep, removes that goblin.
Woo.
And then he uses his aggressive trait, which is a orcish ability, to move here as a bonus action.
Wow.
So aggressive.
Now it's the
Oh,
ones with the... Oh, well, the spear guys are all asleep. So, Erevan, your turn.
Okay, so there's one still
Spear guys
conscious.
don't get to do anything. They're asleep.
There's one still conscious.
There's one, yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to take one step forward to be next to my old pal, and I'll just use Eldritch Blast. I'm going to use one against the guy that's standing up, the last one that's not asleep.
The one with the sort of sickle.
Yes.
Yep, okay. Yep, that's fine.
And the other one onto this guy that's asleep.
Okay, so these guys are prone,
Yes.
which means that it will be at disadvantage with a ranged attack.
Because they're prone.
Disadvantage.
Yeah,
That makes no
because
sense.
they're on the floor. You're making a
because
ranged
it's almost
attack.
like they're trying to take cover, sort of.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Well, that's
okay.
fine. There's only
Whereas
one
if you
standing
were
up.
attacking them in melee, you'd get advantage.
Okay, so the
Because
first,
you're delivering a coup de grace.
I'll do the first one to the guy that's standing up. That's a 4.
Plus
Plus my
How many
charisma
goblins?
is 8.
8.
Plus your proficiency, surely, no?
Is it plus proficiency?
Plus proficiency, this is an attack roll.
Oh yes, very good. So 12.
13,
12.
isn't it? Because proficiency's
Right,
plus
what did you
3.
roll?
A 4.
A
Plus
4.
4 is
Plus
8,
7.
Plus 3. Yeah, so it's 11.
11.
Yeah.
You hit.
I hit it.
I hit it! Yeah! Brilliant! I didn't hit it.
That's a...
I've lost my dice.
It's a 5.
Every time! How can you miss it?
I don't know. That's a 10.
Yes! Remove the
He's
goblin.
dead.
I just wanted to kill one goblin.
Over here.
I can't reach it now.
Oh.
It's like he's being blown off the thing.
No! He needs him over here because I need
Okay.
replacements.
Okay, I'm sorry.
More.
Then the
Once
one
to
that's,
the reach.
the one that's at disadvantage.
Yep.
A 15 and an 18. I'm all powerful.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Damage. It's 8.
Yeah, remove the goblin. So what happens to these goblins?
Right, so the one that's standing up is sort of like looking around at all of his mates that are down on the floor, and as he sort of looks up in a fit of rage, he's ready to avenge his fallen brothers. He gets cleaved in half by a beam of magic. His head's separated from his body, and he drops to the floor. And then the other one is hit so hard whilst he's asleep, he just flies off the edge of the walkway into the chasm of death, and is dead.
Alright, cool. Very nice.
Very cool.
Walk away into the sunset.
So the one... So both of those guys are asleep.
This is going very
Well, that's a pain. Alright, never mind. However, seeing the ruckus and the brutality that is happening over here, some of the orcs turn to join.
Oh.
He falls off and dies.
Oh.
As do more of the goblins. Orc. So.
Bring them to me.
Okay. Bring me round. So the orc with the bow. The orcs with close combat weapons. And the goblin with the spear. So, the orcs with the choppy weapons move forward towards their former boss and begin hacking away at him. The first one just bounces off of his armour. The second one does the same. The third one does manage to hit him. And he takes a reasonable amount of damage, but he doesn't seem to pay it much attention. So he's just sort of like chung chung chung. You can hear this clanging and clinging of metal on iron, and just him not really paying much attention to it all. Then the one with the bow comes along, takes a shot out at Griffin. You do have cover though, which is good because it makes it miss.
Yes.
And then finally it loops round back to Griffin.
Yes. Well, Griffin, slightly embarrassed, so decides he wants to make amends for what has happened. So he moves into this orc here, because he's literally gone to he kind of missed this one and he went to strike again, but then then dust came through and just shattered him into pieces after he fell. So Griffin kind of goes, looks up, sees this other one, goes, okay. So he's like I like to think he's just slamming into like the back of Dusk, and Griffin just literally walks up behind him, grabs him, and he just turns him around, just goes shing straight through his gut, just drops him, boots him to the ground, moves on to the next one, just starts going like real crazy here. So now I'm not going to get advantage.
No advantage,
here?
but you would get a sneak attack.
You'll get a sneak attack. Okay, fair enough. So let's see if I do indeed disembowel him. So I roll a 15 plus 7 is 22.
That'll be a hit.
Very good. So it is a sneak attack. So that's 3d6 plus d8 plus my dex.
Yep.
Excellent. So I've rolled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11 plus my dex of 4 is 15.
So you sort of grab him almost like by the top knot and
Yeah.
exactly what happens.
Exactly.
Remove that orc.
Yes!
Whee!
Yes, you're dead!
Okay. Anything else for you?
And then he kind of will step around like this way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like he's now just looking for the next opening to come in and attack the other one.
Sure. Amrakai, your turn.
Okay, so Amrakai, you see that he wasn't hesitating, but he did his power, and he sort of saw how the effects and the battle took place. He then reverses Elendir along his back, holding the arm out like so, and he starts striding forwards, but his left palm is raised, and it's actually raised like a gun. It's like he's gone into full Talari Warcaster mode, and starts striding this way. 10, 15, 20, 25. On the way in...
As that's where the goblin is asleep.
Oh, cool. Yeah, of course he's still alive. On the way in, he unleashes, and his hand just goes off like a gun. 3 magic missiles. He puts 1 into the goblin, which is asleep on the floor.
Yep.
And he puts 2 into this one here.
That orc, yeah?
Yeah,
Or the
that
one
orc
that's asleep.
specifically.
Okay, yeah.
And then
Takes
comes
that
to this
goblin's
guy,
face,
which I'll
exactly.
describe in a moment.
Sure.
So the magic missiles just go off automatically.
Yeah,
as I
they auto
understand
hit.
it. I don't need to roll to hit.
Absolutely.
Sadly, I don't get an additional one yet. I think I need a second spell
Yeah,
slot.
second spell slot.
Okay, so it's just 3d4 plus 3, effectively.
So D4 plus 1
Yeah.
per magic missile.
Okay, so d4 plus 1 on the goblin on the ground. That's 3 plus 1, 4.
Okay.
4 points of damage.
Yep.
And then d3, or 2d4 rather. I seem to be missing... Oh, I left my dice. There you go. The other one also takes 4 damage.
Okay.
That's the orc on Dusk's flank.
Yep.
And then by the time that he reaches the orc on Dusk's right, his hand sort of withdraws. Elendir comes up round in a crescent and decapitates him with an attack. So this is an action surge.
The
now.
goblin is still in that space though that you're trying to step
But
on.
he
didn't die.
He didn't die?
No, he didn't.
That's fine. So instead then, Amrakai, as he's walking past, you can see that the goblin is sort of sizzling with magical energy, but he's not dead. Amrakai puts his blade through his throat.
Yep.
and then up 6, I get 2 attacks, so
Yep.
using an action surge here,
And then at that point, you
and
walk
brings
the
it
5.
across the
Yeah,
head
sure.
of the other one.
Okay, so against the goblin.
Okay, so
You
I
have
get
advantage on this because it's prone.
Yep.
Yes!
Yeah, so it's hit on an 18.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
a hit. Remove the goblin.
Yeah, the goblin
Just,
is dead.
there's no need to roll for damage.
Yeah,
on that
he
goblin.
literally, as described, he just
Yeah.
walks past it and finishes
And
it
then
off.
you step
Uh,
onto
and
its
then
space.
against the other orc.
Yep. You've got 5 feet of movement left.
So 9 plus 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, it's a hit.
Yeah. Then we've got 2d6 damage. Reroll the 1 because it's a great weapon fighting. So 5 and a 4, so 9, and then plus 4, 13 points of damage.
Yeah, what happens to that orc?
So, as Amrakai described, he fires 3 shots with his magic missile, finishes off the goblin, and then spins around, brings Alindia back from round behind him, and decapitates the orc. The head just goes flying off into the abyss, and he drops to his knees at his feet.
Yeah, it does. All right, the one with the spear is going to run up to Griffin. Now he sees an opening. And he jabs at you.
Imagine if he kills you.
What is your armor class?
So, I get, so it would be 15, but then I get +1 for the.
Yeah, because you're
the
just
cloak.
wearing leather armor, aren't you?
Yeah.
So that's 11 base plus your dexterity modifier of
Yeah,
+4, so 15.
Then I get a +1. I get actually +2,
Yeah, for your cloak
and my scabbard.
and your scabbard. Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
So it's 17.
Yeah, yeah, he misses. He then, because he's a goblin, he takes a bonus action to disengage and comes around again. Hey, get back here.
So I don't get an attack of opportunity.
No, he
So
bonus
like,
action
so
disengages.
he's like
He's
a
a rogue.
swashbuckler.
Yeah.
We should
Lucho.
be friends.
Your turn. All right, cool. So yeah, he's seeing these bigger boys come in, and he looks at it and goes, "That's better." So this guy who's still standing, who's like kind of hacking away at our mate Dusk.
That one's removed. Yeah.
So Luco steams up the board. 1, 10, how did it? 15, 20, 25, 30.
Yep.
Yeah, he's up here.
Uh-huh.
So he kind of, it's like he runs past, but this big orc, as he's trying to hack into Dusk, he kind of like goes like this, but as he does so, he just kind of feels it on the way past.
Mhm.
I'm attacking recklessly.
Okay.
On my first attack, at least, anyway, of course. That's a 20 first.
Oh!
Very
Natural.
good. It's a natural 20.
Yeah.
Critical hit, so 3d10 damage.
3d10
Plus
damage.
6.
Uh-huh.
Should we just remove the model?
Probably.
Should I just remove it?
No, roll. It's
Roll
a critical.
damage.
Roll the damage.
Yeah, because it's
I
fun.
want to see how much it explodes.
Can I borrow one of these?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a D100. I'm going to just do it as a 10s.
I do 1200.
3 plus... Yeah, so that's 7, 14,
Oh, yes.
28 plus 6, that's 30 points of
Oh
damage.
my god. Yeah, so you know how I've explained before where you, as player characters, if you do enough damage to suffer instant death, you need to take the amount of damage that would take you down to 0, and the remaining damage would need to do your maximum hit point. You've killed him twice. Remove that orc.
Okay, so this is what happens. So he feels like, as I go by, he turns around to see where it comes from, and I'm just looking back at him, and I just kind of look down a little bit. He looks down to see his butt. And then he just goes, and just falls in half.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Mad bet.
Right, so that's your first. So you've
That's my
moved,
first action.
Yeah, so you've moved 20 feet thus far.
Well, I think I moved 30, so I can actually go
Yep.
yoink like this.
Yep.
And attack him!
And attack him! For my second attack! Hey! Oh! And I hit on an 18.
Yeah, you
Brilliant.
do.
Yes.
So D10 plus 6.
Oh, that's not a D10. Where's my D10 goes?
You just
Come on.
used it.
I know. It's right here. Huzzah! Right, it's a 7 plus 6, 13 points of damage.
Yeah, remove that orc.
Boss!
I want to attack.
Remove the
Yeah,
orc.
great. So essentially, we haven't had it for a while, so I'm going to turn him into a pest dispenser.
Best dispenser!
Yay!
Alright.
Do you even get Pez anymore?
Yeah, man.
Who knows?
Yeah, like collector's items.
The goblin with the bow is asleep, so be it. Erevan, your turn.
Yay!
Asleep.
Right, so
Fedor.
I'm going to move forward. No, not arms of Haven. 5, 10, 15,
Oh, we just got him.
20, 25, 30. No, 25. So as Erevan runs forwards towards the 2 remaining goblins, as he's running with Augur held out in front of him, he sort of does like a spinning action with the sword, and as he brings them down, he fires out 2 more Eldritch blasts towards those 2 poor goblins at the back there. So I did it one at a time. First one is a 14.
Yep, that's a hit.
Is a hit. Where's the D10? Where's the D10? Oh, thanks. It's 5, 9 points of damage.
On the goblin?
Yes.
Yeah, remove the goblin.
Got this one's dead.
Yep.
This one's got
Explodes into magical fire.
And then the second one.
Yeah.
A 5. So that's a
Plus 7.
Yes. 12.
12. Yep, that's a hit.
It's a hit. 9,
Yeah.
40, 30,
Remove
he's dead.
that goblin.
He's dead.
They're getting slaughtered.
They're not doing well.
I'm slightly out of order because Dusk didn't take a turn. I removed his thing by accident. He steps forward, brings his axes down, clunking onto that one on the floor.
Executioner.
Execution style. Yep. And yeah, he removes that goblin and then steps forward to this one. Cleaves through.
Boot him off, boot him off, boot him off, boot him off.
This one, as he does actually go for a kick, and the goblin sort of moves just out of the way.
Aww.
So that one's removed. Right, cool. Let's take a short break there because we're going to need to rearrange the battle grid, bring it a bit closer so that you viewers at home can continue to watch the slaughter.
Bring them!
So we've battle joined again with more orcs and goblins. So I'm just
That's a lot of
gonna
boxes.
pop these as they.
When's the Balrog coming?
Yeah, Balrog, do you? Chef?
Your
weapons are
no longer of any use here.
Run! Dusk is actually Gandalf. So, on the basis of your return, the goblins with the bows right at the back there, of which there is 2 of them, they're going to take pot shots at Luco, as he is the closest target. However, they are
bro.
heavily obscured, one of which will sail harmlessly nowhere. The other one somehow manages to find straight into your chest, and you take 4 points of piercing damage. So 2, because you're raging.
Yes. So it just goes, you like it.
What are you on? 63 wounds now?
Yeah. Griffin!
I better be
your turn!
careful! Okay, so Griffin kind of looks at this horde and then kind of turns around and looks at you 2.
Mhm.
And then he kind of yeah, well, because I know what's about to go down. I don't really want to charge in there and get armed of whatever.
Well, let's just, you feel the
Yeah.
energy start
The
cracking.
tide is flowing.
So what Griffin will do is he'll stay where he is, but he's going to put himself into a defensive action. So if someone gets to me, I can, or a delayed action rather.
So
Someone
ready, if something comes into your attack range,
Then
you're
I
going to
can
make an
attack,
immediate
yeah.
attack.
Yeah.
Point is, yeah. You're next. Who's next?
It is
Amrakai.
me, yeah.
Okay, cool. We'll see what happens.
Okay, so Amrakai. Oh, this goblin's still alive. Is that goblin still alive?
Yeah, he stabbed Griffin and then just went, no!
What?
Ran away over to the other side of the thing.
Okay, well, I imagine. Alright, so I run past here and I suddenly stand in front, side by side.
Did you
with-
run past the goblin?
No. I went this way.
Okay, cool.
In fact, to be fair, this is what Amrakai would do here 10, 15, 20, 25. He sort of charges round.
Yeah.
And as he's running, his Elendir cracks off the side of the stone tiles,
Yeah.
and starts to spark. Raises his blade as soon as he gets to the first wave, and thunder wave, boom! This huge wave of lightning and thunder, and you hear it crack, goes right through them, and they all die.
Yes,
Off the
everyone.
sides of the actual walkway, and they fall into the abyss.
Yeah! You killed him!
I cast Thunderwave.
Okay, so we're going to do this correctly this time.
Yes.
I made the mistake of misreading the spell, reading as it was centered as a
Can't
cube on
do
him.
it.
It's not. It's actually just any of the facings can touch Amrakai's position. So essentially, you can pick 9 squares
Yeah.
in a adjacentness to you,
Yeah.
Wow.
touching one of your points.
Yeah.
Where would you like to put it?
Well, since it's a 15-foot cube originating from me, I may as well put it... Well, let's just put it right in front of me.
Okay.
Because that will go 5, 10, 15. 10, 15. So it will get...
So 15-foot cube, so it'd be 3 squares in front of you and then 3 squares forward from you.
Oh, okay.
So any point of the 15-foot facing has to touch you.
Well, let's do this block.
Okay, so from the goblin to the orc at the back,
Yeah.
and then across 2, or just the...
So 3,
Yeah.
6,
Okay,
9.
cool. No, that's fine. That's
Those
fine.
9
And I
will
just
be
make a Constitution saving throw,
Yeah, so you have to make a Constitution saving throw.
and this will be against your difficulty check of
So it's
8 plus 2 for intelligence plus 3 for proficiency.
correct. Yes.
So 13.
Yeah.
All right then. So there's the 2 orcs at the back. 1 passes, 1 fails. The bow guy passes. The goblin boss in the middle fails. The orc boss in the middle fails. The goblin in the middle fails. The 2 orcs in front both fail, and the goblin in front fails.
Hey!
Hello, Deb.
How much damage?
Right, it's 2d8 damage,
Okay.
and you're pushed 10 feet back.
All right then. So 2d8 damage, and then let's divvy out the hurt.
Okay.
Kill them.
Kill them all.
Murder them.
16!
Yeah, double 8. What did you roll?
It's really bad. It's a 1 and a 3.
Oh,
4.
no.
The,
Can you roll anything?
Nah,
No.
there's no
No,
rerolling
I can't.
ones.
No.
the goblin in front of you incinerates.
Okay.
The 2 at the back here, I put the push back 10 feet.
Yeah.
10 feet back. He's pushed 10 feet back. 10 feet back. 10 feet back. He stops, and he also stops because they can't go through the orc that passed.
Okay.
But they've all taken some pretty heavy damage. It's like thunder and lightning, like zapping around. You can see the goblins are like at this. The one with the spear in return, unless you wanted to do anything else.
No, not for the moment. Thank
Right. The one with the spear takes a jab at Dusk. Yeah, not with that. And he sort of retreats over to here near the safety of his brethren. Coward. With a disengage as a bonus action. Luco, your turn.
Alright. So, from these guys' point of view, they've just been struck by this bolt of lightning and thunder.
Yep.
And I imagine as it goes, they kind of blind it, but also leaves a trail of smoke. As it clears, from behind the smoke, they see Luco with red eyes coming straight for this guy here.
Yeah.
And he kind of leaps up Achilles style.
Where were you initially?
Hmm?
Where were you initially?
I was right here.
Okay, no, that's fine, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool.
He's not really aware of what you guys are capable of.
What?
Right.
I'm confused. What have I missed here?
Huh?
Have we missed
Yeah,
something
I was-
in-game, or...?
No, nothing's been missed in game.
Right,
Yeah.
cool. That's fine.
So
What have I missed out of
okay,
it?
okay. So
Right.
what I'm getting the impression of is I come into the range of something. Is that correct?
No, I was just checking to see if you would come into the range of something, or rather leaving the reach of something to take an
No,
opportunity.
you might
attack,
have come
but you
into the
didn't.
range of Beard
Something that
doing an
Beard's going
area.
to do. Is that correct,
Yeah.
Beard?
I have no idea. I don't know what he's going to do.
Are you going to do something that I'm now in the range of, which could
Depends, because
possibly...
he might be able to place it somewhere. I don't
that's
know
what
how
I was
the spell
thinking.
works.
Just, yeah, I've got some area of effects
Yeah.
spells.
Am I in danger?
Could be.
I could be.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Erebad's
take
so
He's safe.
It
careful.
depends. It depends how much you enjoy getting exploded by lightning.
Okay.
I mean, don't worry about it. There's half of the orcs over
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I mean,
I can
if
try
you
my
say we're
best
doing
to
it-
avoid you.
Try being the
Just
operative
go-
way.
Is it
go
like
on one
not up
side.
to you?
Huh?
Is it kind of beyond your control?
How dare you? No, I can whack it on the ones on the right. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm good.
You're good.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
We can't worry about that, as you say. You've charged. Go for
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Yeah.
Stop metagaming and kill some goblins! You keep moaning that there's all this stuff that you can't kill and it takes you forever, and now all of a sudden there's a million things to kill. I give you a million things to kill because I'm a kind and generous DM, and now you're like, how should we tactically play this?
It's true.
I just wanted to see some cool spells go off.
I can still do it. I can still do it.
Yeah.
But now he's going to do it on your face.
He might not. Alright, first attack, recklessly. Hiya! Yes. Okay, that's a 4 and an 11.
Yeah,
that
that's a
becomes
hit.
a 17. That's a hit, very good, lovely.
This is on the orc, yeah?
Yes, on this
Cool.
big boy over here.
Yeah.
Alright, D10. That is a 4, plus 6 becomes 10.
Yeah, remove that orc.
Very good.
Yeah.
See you soon.
There you go, mate.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
That's alright.
He's dead.
You're dead. So, second action into he'll plink this one off. Regular attack. Oh my goodness me. That is a 1.
Oh my.
That's a miss.
Wow, yeah.
So many ones.
Yeah.
Maybe this one was just a little bit more wise to it, so he just kind of like going out of the way. But that he's right next to him now, so he just eyes him up as if to say, "You're next."
Alright.
That's me done.
Very cool.
Cool. So, now.
Move that up, right?
These two dash past this goblin and sort of round in on Dusk. These two here come round to Amrakai. This one here barges past his boss, as does this one here to here. So those two attacking Luco with advantage because you attacked recklessly. So the first attack hits, second attack critical, third attack hits, fourth attack misses.
Wow.
Critical, eh?
3.
How pleasant.
At least it's only an orc.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is 18 points of slashing damage from those two. No, not 18, sorry, 16.
16, so
Yep.
that becomes 8.
Yes, it does, because you're raging. The 2 on Anrakai.
Right, as an
beast
immediate
thing.
reaction, I cast shield.
Okay, how many spell slots do you have left?
I miss shield.
That would be all 3 of my level
Cool,
ones. Yeah.
that's fine. The first one misses, double 1. Second one, a critical, so your shield means nothing.
20 always.
20 automatically
Yeah.
hits regardless of AC. You take 12 points of slashing damage.
Oh, no.
But it did prevent the other attack from hitting.
Okay.
And then the 2 on Dusk, one of them hits. The second one goes for a grapple, so he sort of slashes in with his 2 slices on Dusk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so he takes 9 points of damage there. And then the other one slashes in once, misses, but then goes for a body tackle on him. And he goes for a grapple, and Dusk almost just gets him in a headlock, and you can start to hear like bones popping and breaking. That's it for those orcs. In which case he is going to do that. So with he essentially just, you can hear this crack of bone and neck. Oh, yeah, he does. Yeah, he just snaps this one's neck in two.
He's a bad man.
And then he sort of he shoulder barges the other one to the ground, brings his axe down in a executioner's blow, and he does. This one, he's not. He sort of manages to stop being hit to the ground, but he takes an axe chunk into the chest, just bits of bone and rib breaking everywhere. Erevan, your turn.
Right. Okay.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 30. Right, okay. 5, 10. Oh, Rob, come on, man. 5, 10. Oh. Oh, man. How much can you deal with thunder damage?
He can't. He has no resistance to fire damage.
Are you sure?
But he does have 63 hit points.
Is there anything else you can do?
Preferably that doesn't involve killing me.
Yeah.
5, 10.
Or maybe
5, 10,
maybe
1, 2, 3, 4.
Maybe like I see you coming up behind me. I see your hands getting charged or something like that. I turn around. Do it! I can take it.
Oh, cool! All right, we're gonna do it then. That's the coolest thing. Because if I do it on him, that's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, just do it.
I just want to be clear. What exactly are we about to do?
Blow everything up.
Okay.
I think you're going to be fine. We'll find out in a second. So, Erevan,
From anyone else, that would be comforting. All right, go on.
Erevan runs forward towards the big blob of orcs and goblins. And Luco. As he does, he leaps into the air with his gold gauntlet in a fist and comes down into the ground, pummeling it. As it does...
Superhero landing?
Of course it's superhero landing!
Superhero landing!
As it does, an arc of thunder batters forwards through your legs.
Yeah.
Because that's cool. And comes to a halt between the legs of the orc in front of you. As I imagine, he's holding up both his cleavers to come down and chop your head off. So in actuality, I'm saving you from the orc.
Exactly.
As that happens, Shatter is cast. A 10-foot sphere of 4d8 thunder damage is unleashed onto 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 orcs and goblins. Oh my god! And Luco. And I also say, hey Luco, get down. But if you pass your Constitution saving throw, it's only half. So it's fine.
Okay, so you're doing it on the one that's in the middle of him, yeah?
Yeah.
So, 1, 2, okay, hang on.
That's
hang on.
5 minutes later. And Luco takes 30 thunder damage. That's half because I'm raging, right? No, it's thunder damage. Oh no.
This
It's fun. It's fun, right?
Amrakai will need to make this as well,
Why?
because he will be within a 20-foot radius.
It's 10.
Is it 10? Wait, hang on. Is it 10-foot sphere?
Yeah.
It's a 10-foot
No,
sphere.
he don't want to hit
Oh,
me
10-foot
with that.
radius. Yeah, 10-foot
Yeah.
radius. Okay, yeah, cool. Oh no, that's fine. I thought it was a 20-foot.
No.
Yeah, okay, so that will hit the 3 goblins on the side, the 2 bosses at the back, the one in the middle, the one next to him, the goblin to the side, the orc that's next to Amrakai, and the orc with the bow. Cool! So I just make Constitution saving
Constitution
throws?
saving throws and the damage is halved.
Okay, so the goblin. Okay, so at the front, failed.
Oh, they're so all dead.
That's awesome.
Failed.
They've all taken pretty much full damage
Passes.
as well already.
Passes. Failed. Failed. Passes. Failed. Okay, cool. So the 3 goblins on the side fail. The orc in front of Amrakai fails. The orc that it explodes under obviously fails. The orc that's next to Luco passes. The goblin boss at the back passes. The orc boss at the back passes. The goblin at the side fails. And the orc with the bow fails.
So who's dead?
So there's going to be a lot of
Rest.
body parts.
Luco, you need to make a Constitution saving throw as well.
Yes. Constitution saving throw, please.
Please pass.
And this is against 15. You have proficiency in Constitution saving throws.
Yeah. So
I knew it all along!
I got a +3 to Constitution. I got to proficiency, so it'll be +6.
You'll be fine.
1.
It's a little bit.
It's
what's
cocked.
that? That's 13.
Oh, it's 13.
13 becomes 19.
Yeah.
I totally passed.
It's fine!
Take half damage of whatever he rolls.
He's absolutely fine. That's not a very good throw.
Wow.
After all that, that's not a good throw.
Wow.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
11. Alright, cool. So, Luco takes 5 damage. These goblins are removed.
Still kill pretty much.
That
most
orc
of
is removed. That orc is removed. That goblin is removed. And this orc bowman is removed.
Okay, that wasn't bad.
That was pretty
them.
good.
Nice.
That wasn't bad.
Nice.
I ebbed it a little bit to make sure that my good friend Luco was going to be okay.
So much death.
What does it look like? What was the description?
Yeah.
Shatter.
Yeah.
So, what, the actual explosion?
Well, yeah. Well, you tell me.
What was it
you
like
did.
lightning or
Okay,
something?
so like I said before, as he jumps into the air and punches into the ground, there's this arc of thunder that rolls across the floor. It went through Luco's legs and stopped suddenly in between the legs of the orc that was going to cut his head off. And then there's a huge explosion of sound and air and lightning and thunder. it just sort of goes out, but then sucks everyone in.
That's
So it's kind of
epic.
like an implosion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's epic.
Brutal. How
Yeah.
many did you kill there?
all of them. They're all dead.
Yeah, look. So this big orc guy next to me. So he was hit by it. He wasn't killed, but I imagine it would have been such a ferocious thunderclap that it would have kind of rocked him.
Yeah.
And he's kind of trying to make sense of the world around him. And to his vision, it's all kind of. And you know that scene in The Dark Knight and Batman Begins with the Scarecrow?
Yeah.
It's like, and he turns around to look at Luke, and Luke is like that. And
You're like a giant wolf.
And yeah, exactly. It's almost like his snout kind of come forward more. His eyes are really just like that scene in Batman Begins.
Nice.
Yeah.
So as the dust settles and the sort of bits of goblins and orcs kind of run down the ground.
I can imagine there's sort of like there's just every now and then you hear it as a bit of goblin juice falls off off the ceiling.
Yeah. He gets up off one knee and he sort of feels a vibration from Augur and he goes, ha, more.
Quite close to Amrakai there.
The single guy with the bow takes a shot at Amrakai as he has a clear shot.
I'm still AC 22, by the
Yeah,
way.
he misses. The goblin with the bow
Just to be clear.
does hit though. Hang on.
He misses my
Wait, was
dome
it?
of force.
22.
Impossible! I'm 22.
Oh no, he misses. Yeah, no, it clinks off. He needed a natural 20 to hit you.
Alright,
I rolled
so
19.
arrow clinks off the shield.
Okay, so the orc boss charges forward to here. As he sort of goes, he flings his he sort of swings his axe and his chop around, and you hear the moonstone pulses, and you hear a at that he throws his choppers and axes to the ground, and he goes to grapple you.
Oh.
Ooh!
Could you make do you want to dodge it or try and just resist the grapple? Dodge will be against your acrobatics. To just resist it is against your athletics.
Hang on. Let me just check. What's more? Acrobatics and athletics. I'll do. What was the athletics one again?
To dodge.
To dodge.
Dexterity.
I'll do it dodge. So it's dex and athletics.
Okay. Are you acrobatics if you want to dodge. Athletics to just go. I'm not moving.
Athletics is your strength, so you.
Yeah.
So basically, it's as if someone's trying to in wrestling. If you were someone like. I don't know, I haven't watched wrestling in 20 years, so someone like Rey Mysterio would go, oh no, someone's trying to pick me up, I'm going to move out of the way.
Yeah.
Whereas someone like The Rock would just go, you can't pick me up.
Yeah.
Because I'm a beefcake.
Yeah.
The big show. It's the big
Someone trying to suplex the beef show. The beef show?
He should be called the big show. New wrestler.
Beef show.
Ladies and gentlemen, the beef show.
Beef show.
Okay, so I've got athletics taken. So
Cool. Make 2 athletics checks for me, please.
2 athletics checks. So what's this against?
Strength.
Strength. Okay, sweet. Now this will be good.
You will have advantage on the first one that you are required to make as a result of Minok Murphy's magical wondrous food.
Hey.
This is a skill check.
Oh yeah.
Alright. So first one at
That's not
advantage. So I've got my strength is +4 too. So
So this is like +7.
7.
Yeah.
Forget about it. Forget about it. 20.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
27. Yeah, he sort of moves in. He tries to shoulder barge you and then lock your arm.
Yeah.
And you just having none of it. You almost boot him in the face on the way in.
Yeah.
On that, he twists around and tries to get you from behind in a neck lock. Could you make another athletics check, please?
Well, that's 15.
Yeah,
that's
reverse
7.
beef sandwich.
Okay. He does manage to get a grapple on you.
Pastrami pile
Yep.
driver.
Roll that.
Yep. So he manages to get a grapple, and he moves towards the edge.
Oh,
Whoa.
He's gonna dive on the edge.
No, that's not okay because there's not a bottom to the chasm.
Yes. The goblin comes screaming through.
That's like instant death.
The goblin comes screaming through and tries to sort of hack at you whilst you're grappled, but misses. So as you're sort of being dragged, you're being grappled and dragged away, or by the neck. You see this goblin.
Yeah.
Hang-
I'm like a leg free, so I just kind of
Yeah, you sort of almost like you put when you put your hand on a child's forehead, like that, but with your foot.
Yeah.
Griffin, it's your
Okay.
turn.
Okay. So
Someone kill the guys grappling you.
Seeing this, well, I can't get to him. This is the problem.
Do a backflip.
I can't.
Do a barrel roll!
You could always disengage as a
So where are you?
I'm here.
Oh
Just
yeah,
remember
no,
that-
you're not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
You're in a ready action.
Okay, you could 1,
I'm
2.
ready.
Let's see.
Preparing for battle. They'll be here any minute.
Hello.
I'm here if you need me.
You could make it to him by going using your bonus action to dash.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because you got to double it on the.
And then I'd get
thing.
attacked there.
Not yet. Then you'd get attacked here.
Right.
So that'd be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
But you would take.
would he be able to attack though?
Yeah, because he's dashing as a bonus action because he's a rogue, but he would take 2 attacks of opportunity as he does so.
That's fine. I'm gonna do it.
Oh, what a legend!
So
He's moving.
Griffin, he's like he kind of looked over at the casters and just goes, "Do your worst," and just sees everyone run off in there anyway. So just going, well, he just kind of shakes his head. And says, But then
Imbeciles!
But it all kind of looks like it's so he's about to saunter over. But then he sees this happening. He just goes, "Loco!" Just goes, charges around here, like kind of cartwheels through here around the side.
He cartwheels over their heads.
There's lots of cartwheels.
Almost in as the orc goblin boss, as the goblin boss sort of swings and misses, he sees out the corner of your eye you running towards it, so he almost overcompensates with the swing to try and catch you. No, he does not.
Yeah, so I can't wheel over that.
That is currently fighting against Amrakai, sort of bouncing off the dome, sees this blur of purple and colour and blondness, and he takes a swing at you. This one does hit you.
No.
But you do take 8 points of slashing damage on your way through.
Okay, that's fine. Down to 30.
The other one that you've sort of encountered, you've almost moved along, dashed through, dodged this blow, like cartwheeled over it, taken a slash as you've landed, but then you skirt round this orc going to stab in. So you don't take an attack of opportunity from this one here because you haven't left his reach yet. You're
Right.
still within his reach, so you're kind of like skirting around him, keeping an eye so you can see where that attack's coming from. It's only when you leave the reach of the creature that you take the attack.
Very good.
So against the orc boss,
I will be. I'm assuming I'm getting advantage because he's grappling someone.
so you
That
don't
sounds
get
about right.
you don't get advantage against him, but you
Does
do
my
get
rage still count?
advantage because Luco is raging.
Yes.
Come on.
Kill the boss.
So I rolled a 2 and a 17.
Yes!
That's a hit.
Yes, it is. And now I get my sneak
And
attack.
neck attack.
Oh yes.
Sneak him right in the brain.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Okay.
So I rolled 7 plus 6 is 13, 15, 16 plus 4 is 19.
16 plus 4 is 20.
There's 20. I do 20 words.
Please
That's
describe
amazing.
how you saved Luco.
That's amazing.
So Luco, I like it.
That's
Luco,
so cool.
Luco's kind of like I can see. It's almost like he's like palming him in the face to try and get him to drop in because he can't quite. And this sort of and then like like what happens is you palm once and then you pull back. And then the Dawn of Hand goes straight through his head and just through 2 of your fingers.
Oh,
and he just goes, and it just kind of the blade just goes shing and he just goes and you just see me standing in front of you and I just nod.
I do good. Yeah.
Yes, that was an orc boss.
That was yeah, I got he drops. I look up. You're nodding, and I'm like, yeah. That was cool. Well done, good star.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. You've still got 2 squares of movement if you want because you've dashed.
Yeah. That just.
You would take a tax of opportunity from that orc that hasn't attacked you yet, though.
No, you know what? I'm just gonna stay where I am.
All right, very nice. Amrakai.
Okay, so Amrakai
Okay.
has seen Griffin move past him in a lightning way. However, whose dice are these? Yours?
Never mind, thank you. I got too excited. wait. Who's is that?
Just gonna bring this close.
Oh, that's mine. I got too excited.
Don't worry, the walkway is
excited
not
over here.
dying and falling away.
Oh, good,
I'm just
good.
gonna bring that a bit closer, so we'll come around and sort that in a second.
What Amrakai's sort of seen out of the corner of his eye what's happened over here, but meanwhile this orc has tried to slash at him again, and my force shield has just now failed. So in response, I bring my blade through its gut and lift it up off of its legs.
Yeah.
Critical. That is not a critical. However, it's a 4.
Against this orc, yeah?
Yes, so I think we're looking at 4, 5, 6, 7,
That's a hit.
11, yeah.
Yep.
So 2d6 damage. Reroll the 1. We are looking at 11
Yes.
plus 4, 13 points of damage.
Yeah, remove that orc.
Yeah, so I literally lift him up off of his feet, and then I boot him off of the blade.
Yes.
And he goes tumbling off into the abyss. And then I take another step and swing my blade across the neck of the boss, because I get to attack.
Yes, you do.
Critical.
With advantage, because he's
With
adjacent
advantage.
to...
Critical. 18.
Nice.
18.
So close, but that's a dead
But it's definitely a
goblin.
hit.
Okay.
Boss.
That is 4, 5, 6, 7, plus another 4, 11 points of damage, sir.
So you sort of slice it across. He's sort of screaming and like, ah, like just hacking wildly away. And you sort of whooshing slice across, and you slice off its nose.
Oh, he sliced his nose
But
off.
it's still like, just screaming and yelling in pain and agony and anger now.
Noseless goblin. What a sad sorry
This
state of
one
affairs.
with the spear is going to go...
Is he still alive? And he dashes into you, and he makes an attack against you, Iravan, and your armor class is
13,
13
including
plus
my
mage armor, so 2, so
mage
15,
armor.
so misses.
He then disengages.
Stupid goblin.
Luco, your turn.
Right. Awesome. Okay, so Luco turns to this little goblin bossy over here.
Kill him.
Yes. So he takes the red ribbon from the from Cartega, and I can imagine like he wraps around his neck and he just goes, "Come here!" In that motion, he skewers him, and lifts him up like a shish kebab, and then throws him over the edge.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm taking reckless way. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. One's a 6, and one is a 16.
That's a hit.
So yeah, that's a pretty good hit, I reckon.
Getting real good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, real good.
Alright.
Well, the minimum is what, 7?
Hey?
With all of your.
With all of your stacking bonuses, the minimum is 7.
Okay,
But roll anyway.
sure.
Kill him.
3.
Cool.
9. Yes, thank you.
What happens to this goblin?
10. Even.
Exactly as I described. Over the edge.
See you soon.
Lovely fighting with you.
Okay, the orcs with the cleavers. So one of them comes around to attack against Dusk.
Oh, hang on, I haven't attacked twice yet.
Oh no, you haven't. Sorry,
No.
mate.
No, that's
My bad.
it's my bad too. I forgot. I should have known. So he goes into this guy here over here.
Yes, kill him. Do the same again.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, fine. That's a 5.
Oh.
Plus.
That'll probably be a hit.
7.
Yes, hit.
Oh goodness me!
They're wearing not the best put together armour.
I
and
guess-
they're not exactly
Orcs is
agile.
No. Okay.
Yeah, just wearing bits of pebbles. Yeah.
So 2 plus 6 becomes 8.
On that one. Yeah, remove that orc.
Dead orcs.
Yeah.
Because he took some damage from all the lightning and thunder.
Of
going
course,
about.
yeah.
What did you do to him?
Huh?
What did you do to him?
All right. So as I've thrown one off, I turn to the other. I kind of do the same thing again, but also bring it to me and then kind of up the middle like that.
Cool. Anything else? You still
No.
got like another 5 squares of movement, I think.
No kidding.
No, 7 squares of movement.
Okay, so he just kind of throws him to the side.
Mm-hmm.
7 squares, did you say?
Yeah, because you move 8 squares with a 40-foot movement.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
only move forward 5.
No, cool. So 1, 2. So he goes. Like
Okay.
these two.
Cool. The one with the cleaver has attacked Dusk and sort of punched through some of his armor, but not really done any lasting damage. In response, he headbutts him, and you hear the splintering and cracking of bone as his face is caved in by this giant mounting force. He takes 2 steps forward, boots this goblin
Yes.
just in the face,
Finally.
boom, and just continues to stride forward. In response to all of this, the final batch of orcs and goblins
joins the fray. So we're just going to cut quickly, pull it in, and add them all.
Alright.
Right, so, Griffin.
Yes.
It has come round to you. The final one. Oh no. Yeah, I should have just done the guys with the bows. They're going to take point blank shots at Luco as he's moved over to them. They both miss.
Right away.
Griffin.
So, Griffin looking over his shoulder at Erevan, kind of goes, yeah, come this way. So that's exactly what he does. He goes, so over to the orc with the bow.
Yep.
So he charges over. So the orc has gone. He's fired at Luco.
So you move. Where did you move precisely?
I think I was here. So I just went.
Yeah.
Dunk.
Okay, so you're leaving that orc space. So he swings at you as an attack of opportunity.
Right.
And he misses.
Of course he does. Right, so anyway, so this guy's just gone, and this arrow's just gone, like, wayward over Luco's head. And as he kind of, like, reaches into his quiver, and he kind of pulls out like this, and then the Dawn of Hainault goes through his ribs, and then Griffin just boots him off over the edge, into the chasm! Yes! It's a chasm kill!
Yes.
And Luco's
Railing
just
kill.
there. So I believe that's an advantage.
Yes.
Yeah! Oh yes, I rolled a 14, but then a 19 as well.
Oh,
so I hit
baby.
twice.
It's a hit.
Anyway, so, would you like to hear some sneak attack?
Go
Would you
on.
like to hear some sneak and dead? Oh yes. So I rolled a 6, a 4, a 2, and a 2. So that is 14 plus my dexterity is 18.
Remove that orc.
Kick! And he's dead!
How does it go?
Yeah!
Very good.
Okay. Alright. The goblins that have sort of joined the battle, they sort of move around to here. This one's sort of sneaking through the gap here. The three of them are going to attack Griffin.
Ah.
Well,
I am arm class 17, just so they're aware.
Sure. The spear misses,
Yeah.
the club misses, and the scimitar hits.
Whoa, okay.
You take 7 points of slashing damage.
Hang on a minute.
That's not very nice.
That's not nice
And
at
then
all.
they go no and disengage as a bonus action.
Yeah, off the edge because they're so scared.
Cheeky start.
Into the chasm. No? Okay.
Amrakai, your turn.
Right. Oh, hello. Okay, so seeing the rest of the shambling hordes around that crystal now coming at us, Amrakai doesn't waste any time. He charges directly past Dusk and stands shoulder to shoulder with Griffin and then decapitates that orc. It's a 3, so it becomes a 10.
That is a miss, unfortunately.
Okay, that is what he does with his first attack.
Oh!
Clearly, it was a feint.
Yeah, his first attack was a feint. The orc ducks, and then he brings the blade up underneath its chin. Well, that's a 6 plus 7 this time.
That's a hit.
It's a hit. Fantastic.
13.
Okay, 2d6. Reroll the 1. Okay, that's 6 plus 4, 10 points of damage.
Yeah, not quite enough to kill him. He's still going.
Nevertheless.
Anything else for you?
Nope.
Luco, your turn.
All right, cool. So, he comes in between these two. Kind of like a golf swing on this guy. So
Yep.
he's going to do one attack on him.
Yep.
And then reverses. Same thing on that guy.
Okay.
So first one, I may as well attack recklessly because why not?
Okie dokie.
Yeah, that's a 4 and a 16.
That's a hit.
That's a hit. Damage on the first one. My D10, there it is. Oh yes, that's a 10, and he's pretty much killed.
Yeah, he's
isn't he?
removed.
Oh, TD! And you just fall over. Yep.
Bing, 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 bing.
Second one. That's a 5 plus 7.
That's a hit.
That's a- I remember that
on
being
that
hit.
one with the shield. No, that's not.
Oh, I got a shield!
Yeah.
A little.
That's not a hit. No, unfortunately, you sort of bring it round, boom, you punch through the shield.
Yeah.
But it is enough to stop
So imagine
the force.
because he's quite small, but I hit quite hard. But he went like this. He successfully parried it, but he went kind of kaboo, and like against the
Backed up
railing,
against the
and
railing,
corrected him and corrected himself. Like and just kind of shook it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. All right.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
My shield.
Two of them.
Okay, the two with the bows are going to go through the gap so they can see the one on the right here. It's going to take a shot at Griffin.
No.
No, that one misses. And the other one on the left is going to take a shot at Amrakai. Oh, that's a critical. I only do 6 points of damage though.
Oh.
I was lucky. Feasting.
It's very lucky.
Yeah.
How many have you got?
Have you mind?
Then this one here with the two maces
business.
comes
Lazy.
charging through here. I've lost some placements. It's not good.
No.
I'm good. I think that's about right. He brings them both down in a massive clubbing blow across your head. He hits. And he does 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh.
Wow.
Dusk, then, seeing this, comes in, shoulder barges this guy. Yes, that's a hit.
Wait,
knocking him prone.
Who did you do that damage on?
Amrakai. So he comes in, shoulder barges this guy to the ground, and then brings them crashing down into the creature's chest.
Oh, wow.
One of them does hit. It only takes a small amount of damage, but it is prone. Cool. Erevan, it's your turn.
You'd literally hit all of us.
Yeah.
You're all dead.
Yeah.
Do it.
No.
All guys just go.
Yeah. It's actually the voice of Emperor Palpatine. He's like, do it. Give it to your head.
Complete your training.
And then as he casts it, ooh.
It's very tempting. It's very, very tempting, but I think I should probably avoid a stern talking
maybe.
to from Amrakai.
A stern
Griffin.
talking to?
Yeah.
I think you mean a beheading.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it would
It's
be a
like
very
talking,
stern
it's
beheading.
not-
Yeah. Okay, which one's the boss? The one at the back?
The one with the massive two-handed cleaver. He's the one that's just he's almost at this point not really paying much attention. He's just sort of almost through the motion. But then eventually he does sort of this massive two-handed axe.
Yeah, and as he puts the axe on his back, I've already unleashed 2 Eldritch blasts towards his head.
From where you are?
From where I am.
Okay, cool, because that will be with like quite a bit of amount of cover.
Well, I'm gonna go over here.
Okay, cool.
Okay, I'm gonna do both at the same time.
Yeah.
Do both at the same target. It's a 17 and a 3.
So the 3 will miss, the 17 will hit.
Okay, that's all I need. That's a 9!
Nice.
Yeah.
Plus 4!
13 points. Very
13
tasty.
points damage.
Alright.
He's dead.
Very nice.
That was weird.
Did that go in the drink?
No, it bounced off the rim.
In response to that, the
He
boss,
dies.
the boss sort of barges through, pushing these guys out of the way, comes around to here, with 2 blows cleaving through, 1 attack on each of you.
Oh, come on now.
On Luco, misses. And on, oh dear, misses both.
Yes, of course he does.
What a shame. What a shame. And then finally, these 2 boys come forward. One crashes into Griffin and one into Amrakai. The one on Amrakai misses, and the one on Griffin also misses.
Yes.
Yay! Griffin, it is now your turn.
Excellent. So, the big boss with his two-handed axe just like swings past.
Yeah.
And Griffin literally does like a matrix back, so he like flips down on his back and just goes over the top of him. And then, so as he flips back, he flips the hand out, so it's like a stab, and he kind of pushes himself back up, and just goes straight through his sternum, like, and just out his back, just goes like a pincer. Yes. Are you ready for? Is this an advantage? Yes, Mr. Lugo. Yes, Lugo, you're always raging.
Yep.
So I rolled a 3 and a 15!
Yeah!
Pip, pip, pip. Okay, let's do this. Are you ready to be illuminated? Die! Oh, it's not bad. I've rolled a 5 and a 6, that's 11. Plus 1 is 12, plus 4 is 16, plus another 4 is 18 wounds of damage. I'd like to remove that model, please.
No, you can't.
Damn it!
Oh.
But still, that was cool.
That was very cool. That was very good. It's very, quite a hefty amount of damage you feel, but he's still sort of going.
Okay. Inspiration point though, right?
No.
Okay.
The goblin, the one on Luco. You recklessly attacked last time. His club sort of comes in and does hit you. You take 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
That's
and then
after
he goes,
halving it?
yeah.
Okay.
The one with the scimitar comes round, does the same. Oh, that's a critical.
Oh, come on! From a goblin.
Yeah. That is 12 points of slashing damage.
Oh!
And then again he goes. So this one, you've been bashed, almost like creating like a small, like winding you. And as you sort of winded, this other goblin goes, and jabs you right in the sort of chest.
So hang on, how much?
12 slashing from the second one.
And that's, again, that's been halved.
Halved, yeah, slashing.
Oh, wow, okay.
This one comes round to go against Erevan.
Nope.
He hits you.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a goblin with a spear. Yeah, you take 4 points of piercing damage.
So tempting to use Alice Rebuke, but I'm not going to.
And then it goes.
Where are they going?
Looping around. Cool. Amrikai, your turn.
Okay. So the one that was knocked prone is the one that I nearly killed. Oh no, it's not. It's the other one. Okay, so the one.
So this is the one that like came into you and
Yeah.
Did he crit you? Or I don't know if he crit you, but he hit you for quite a bit of damage.
Yeah. So Amrikai gets knocked to one knee, and he's got quite a nasty scalp wound. Starts bleeding, wipes the blood from his face. Gets up, activates second wind.
Okay.
So that gives me 1d10 plus my fighter level back.
So D10 plus 5.
So 6 plus 5, so 11 points of...
Ignores that damage that you just took, basically.
Yep, which is nice. He then, as he gets up, plunges his blade into the throat of the one that's on the floor, just because he's prone, so it's like a coup de grace. And then he brings the blade up, swings it round, and finishes off by decapitating the orc that he's wounded before.
So this will be at advantage because it's prone.
At advantage, so 16.
That's a hit.
So he's hit. And he takes 5, 6, 7, 8 plus 4, 12 points of damage.
Okay, yeah, he's sort of, as your sword plunges into its neck and it's like swinging at you with his maces. So
Cool.
he's still going.
Alright, but nonetheless, I bring the blade out of him and then swing it round and decapitate the one that is basically hanging on to life.
Which one?
The one that was in front of me that I took 12,
Okay, cool,
12 wounds from last time.
Yeah.
So 15.
Yeah, it's a hit.
And
Remove that orc.
Yeah. His head just goes flying off.
Yep. Cool. Luco.
Alright.
Unless you wanted to move or anything like that.
No, I will stay where I am for the moment.
Okie dokie.
Alright, cool. So I've just taken a bit of some bit of damage, but not too bad, but enough to maybe just kind of go, ugh! Oh, thanks. So he's just kind of like this, kind of leaning down, and so this bubba over here, he kind of looks up at me and kind of rears up to go kind of try and finish me off, but before he's able to get an axe swing down, I just kind of look up and go into his midriff, and I yank it out. That's my first attack. On my second attack, he kind of prones over like this, and right in front of me, right through the back of the neck like that.
Alright.
Yeah.
Very nice.
We'll do the
Remove
first
the
one.
model.
What? Yeah, no, right.
Reckless?
Yeah, of course.
Cool.
Shit, you kidding? Yes. That's a 20!
Again, headphone users, we apologise.
But we do hope you enjoy
How's
it.
a beautiful harmony?
I'm not sorry.
We should get one of those pictures of next time.
So yeah, sorry, you're going to have to remind me
So
on the
that
critical.
3d10 plus 6 damage because you're raging.
Right. So, yeah. Can I borrow a d10?
Six,
I'll just
jeez.
use one of the hundreds again. 3d10 plus 6. Okay. So that's 9,
Ooh.
19,
Oh.
plus is 21,
Oh.
plus 6 is 27. Remove the model.
Remove that model.
Yeah.
You almost want to bring it in for that second blow, and he keels
He
over.
just goes limp, yeah. And so
The whole walkway collapses. Thunder everywhere.
Well, it does kind of rattle a little bit. I'm like, ugh. But then I see this guy over here. So with my second attack now, like Donatello style, into the side of this guy here as he's going to attack. So he's up through the rib cage.
Yep.
Error. It's a 1.
And that's a 1. Clearly, you were shook from the old combo not working.
Quickly now. Come on. Nothing's here. Don't worry about it. Come on now.
The two with bows, the one directly in front of you takes a shot at you, Luco.
Oh, goody.
And will miss. The one over here was going to take a shot at Amrakai because he's got a clear shot and misses as well. It was then... so the one with the maces, he sort of stands up and takes a swing at Amrakai and tries
As
to...
he's standing up next to me, do I get an attack of opportunity?
No, because he's not leaving your reach.
Gotcha.
So if he'd crawled away, then yeah, he would. So he makes one attack against Amrakai and misses, and one attack against Dusk and hits him. So Dusk takes quite a beefy blow. You can see part of his armour that's dented by this blow, and you can see a trickle of blood start to come out of the crack, and he takes a pretty nasty growl and step back. At that, he just brings his axes and goes to decapitate the other orc. One of which does hit, the other one is deflected off. Not quite, but he's pretty worse for wear, that guy. Erevan, your turn.
Yes. So seeing that orc knocked back by Dusk, Erevan's going to raise Augur and fling out one final blow that will kill him. As he does so, when Augur comes down, he'll sort of put it into reverse grip and plunge it backwards into the goblin that struck him as he ran past. As he's running away and the Eldritch Blast strikes him, he starts running like this into two halves. If I hit him.
Yes.
So the first one into the orc that hit Dusk on a 17 is a hit.
Oh, it is a
the
hit.
one that went for me on a 12 is a hit because it's +4. That's 16
Yeah, both hit. So against the orc.
against the orc. That's a 3 +4 is 7.
7.
Yeah, please describe what happens to that orc.
That's what happens. He gets knocked back by Dusk ever so slightly. As his guards drops, it cuts his face in half from this side, so his face just comes off onto the ground.
Very
and
nice.
then the goblin, that's 6 points of damage.
Yeah, so again, this goblin just splits in half.
Yeah,
as
he
runs.
starts running away, but then runs away into two halves.
Very
And
nice.
then just flops onto the ground.
nasty.
Like a dead goblin does.
Yes.
These two goblins, seeing what you've done to their companion, unless you had anything else that you wanted to do.
No, I just do like a cool pose.
Yeah. That is also a perfectly valid thing to do.
Superhero landing.
Wait, what's the cool place?
These two goblins, seeing that, they go, yeah! And go to gang up on you. So both of them are going to take an
Where did they
attack
come
against
from?
you. One of them misses, the other one does manage to get through. You take 4 points of bludgeoning damage from the guy with the club.
Do I get to half it?
No. And then they sort of back up slightly.
Okay.
Griffin, your turn.
That's the first one I've been hit.
Right.
Really?
This phase, yeah.
Oh, this phase.
Ever.
Yeah. I was
Right.
going to say, no, you've definitely been hit.
So yeah, he's kind of stabbed out. So he throws his sword up in the air. He catches the Dawn of Hainault and then just kind of comes down with a slashing attack across the orc that's in front of him. He does not want to move or take any attacks of opportunity against him.
Okay.
So if I do, I roll a 3 and a 16.
It's a hit.
Okay, time to die, orc.
Sneak.
Time to die. Sneak attack. Oh, it's not great, but it's not terrible against an orc. So I've rolled 12 in total there. Plus 4 is 16.
Yeah, remove that orc, guys.
Yes! So yeah, he's going slash down straight across his face, just goes over there. He's
Alright.
dead.
Cool.
Yes,
Was that the
Griffin!
boss?
No,
No, the bosses have died.
Yeah, we killed the bosses.
You slaughtered them. Okay.
And Mackay.
Yeah. So the two. Oh, I don't know what's happened here. I've removed the wrong one. I did it slightly out of order. It's fine. The goblins have already done their attack. They shouldn't have done it. Doesn't matter. Yeah, Amrikai, your turn.
Okay, so
There's too much going on. I get really confused.
everyone is just lying dead around us.
This place is starting to stink already.
Yeah.
Just from like the offal and the guts and blood that's everywhere.
And Mackay charges this one.
Yep.
And he plunges Elendir into its torso, raising it up and throwing it off into the abyss. Sorry, I don't know why I rolled 2d20 there. So what I'll do is start again. I was thinking advantage because of Luco.
Luca, why are you closer to me?
12 plus 4.
Yeah, it's a hit.
Yeah, well, plus 7 even. Okay, then 2d6 damage. I'll re-roll the 2. Right, so that's 9 plus 4, that's 13 points of damage.
Remove that orc.
He is booted off into the abyss.
Well, that's where the crystal is at the back there. So you
No,
boot
it's-
him into the crystal.
into the crystal.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it was cool.
Yeah, it was cool. Anything else?
No.
I think you know,
You
so
sure?
you put him into the crystal and everything explodes.
Well, I can't. Oh, actually,
You
'cause that was
moved.
just one
So
attack,
you
wasn't it?
moved like
Yeah.
10 feet.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll move. I keep forgetting that I
Yeah.
can move. I can attack.
You can attack, move,
yeah.
attack. Yeah.
So then he sprints across and decapitates the other one. So I'll just finish them both off now. Not on the roll of a 1.
Oh, so many ones. There's quite a few ones. Yeah.
Crazy.
Luco, your turn.
But there's a few 20s, which I've rolled a few, so, you know, I'll do it again. On that note, all right. So, yeah. So Luco storms up to this half of the up to this end, and he comes in. So with his first attack, he chops off the bow hand, as he's trying to load up a bow, but he's going, and then with his next one, decapitates him. First attack, reckless, of course. On a 3, but a 12 will hit him surely.
Yeah, it's a hit.
Very good. Okay, so he's on a 6, 10.
I
Plus 6, 16.
Yeah, impaled and removed.
Yeah,
Nice.
but that's exactly what happens. And you know what? He's also a pest dispenser. Why not? Just to finish it off.
2 in one day.
Yeah.
Sugar.
So you've got another 4 squares of
Yeah,
movement if you so wished.
Well.
I fling myself into the chasm.
I've done enough.
Well, I tell you what I'll do. I'll just I was about to say consolidate, but this is a different game. But I'll just do that.
Just move up next to him.
Yeah.
Just like sort of stand next to him. Alright.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dusk sort of scans the area here,
We're very masculine.
turns around, moves towards these two, brings an axe down on one, misses. At this, he sort of just boots it to the ground, and then brings his axe down on it. Erevan, you hear, "Sleep now, little one," and removes him.
It's quite sweet.
It is your turn.
My turn.
That was lovely. I'm going to cast.
Now that everyone is dead. Oh wait, not everyone. Yet. These are the arms of Hadar.
Erevan, no, you idiot!
Well, there's one goblin left.
It's totally worth doing arms of Hadar.
I want to do Arms of Hadar.
No, don't do arms of Hadar.
You just said to.
Don't be silly.
Just go and hit him with your sword.
I'm just gonna do 2 Eldritch Blasts.
Okay.
Into that one guy. 16 and a 15. They both hit.
Both hit.
Both hit.
What happens to that goblin?
I roll. Was it 30? 19 points of damage.
What
It's
happens to that
blown
goblin?
out of this plane. And Dusk says,
Cool. Sleep again, little one.
What?
He doesn't. He sort of sees this goblin next to him, so he looks at it, and it just sort of dissolves as it's blasted away. Now, as the last of these goblins fall, the crystal light from the moonstone flares once again, lighting the entire cavern in bright light before it recedes into the stone.
I feel like I should go forwards or backwards.
It's much dimmer now, the light, close to the stone, only emanating maybe 30 feet from it rather than filling the entire cavern. The silvery gem seems to swirl almost like a mist within it, and a shadowy figure, stretched out and long, coalesces and writhes within, seeming to press up against the edge of the crystal like a child pushing their face up against a window pane.
Oh, how disappointing. They were very close.
But we'll have to find out what that means next session.
Oh! Whoa.
No. That crystal is about to get shattered.
Yeah. No, I think we just leave it in there.
I think we should just jump off the cabin.
But it's some sort of demon in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just
Ghost demon.
Just walk
Maybe we
away.
could be friends.
Right.
So, episode 21 of Cast of Players completed. You'll have to catch the next episode, number 22, over on Demand. Make sure you sign up if you haven't already. Give it a free trial. Fist of Power.
Power!